there's so many people who need to go into these pain clinics. So many addicts who can't afford it. Why don't we start sponsoring people? So within a year, I was sponsoring 10 to 12 people every month.
Jesus.
So
you had a network.
Network. So my thing was every person got 240 of each, 240 oxys, 240 that I would give them only 40 of each. And I'd keep the rest. So a couple thousand. Well, yeah, I mean, they're getting it free. I'm paying for everything.
Yeah.
So they're getting, I'm giving them all the somas. And I didn't care about the somas. Right. I'm getting them all the somas, 40 oxys, 40 Roxys, and 40 Xanax bars for free. They don't do anything but show up.
Yep.
That's a deal. So I was giving them that. So you're talking between 2,000 to 2,400 pills on average every month I was getting. Selling them for 20 to 30 pills, $30 at a pop. I was on average had anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000 a month in my pocket.
Jesus.
Back then at 19 years old, it was ridiculous.
You had to have thought your head had to have been enormous.
It was, of course. And then my actual habit, eventually, by the time I was right when I turned 2011, when I turned 21. Was the craziest year. So I had saved up probably $200-something thousand, right?
Holy shit.
Yeah. And this was after partying all the time.
200K?
200K. So this was after partying my ass off still.
Where are you putting this money?
I just had it cash stashed in boxes in my closet.
We are back with another episode of Get a Grip Podcast. We have Josh Shaw down from Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you coming down.
Thanks for having me.
It is down, right?
Yeah, down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I'm not a complete idiot. Thanks for coming out. We always like to start out with childhood and the beginning of your life and how it molded you into the man you are today.
Sure.
So let's go back to little Josh and how his childhood began.
I was raised in a middle-class family. My mom worked 2 jobs. My stepdad was working as a manager at Meineke as a mechanic most of his life. He was working 6 days a week, 10 hours a day. But if you want to go back even earlier, we'll say I didn't know my real dad at all. My real dad was not in the picture. There's a whole story about that in reality because my mom says my dad knew about me but abandoned me. I eventually met my real dad, only a couple of years ago.
When you got older.
Yeah, I had met him a couple of years ago, and he claims he didn't know me at all. So that's a whole...
So you don't know the truth.
Don't know the truth. I probably never will. They're going to keep to their stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, my mom met my stepdad when I was like 5. And we were living down in Coral Springs, which is part of Fort Lauderdale. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was a pretty decent kid. My stepdad always told me like, hey, I had a behavior problem. My mom's like, no, he's a kid. My stepdad me and him always bumped heads because he was much older. My mom had me when she was very old. Okay. She had me at 37. I was an accident. I was her third, technically, pregnancy. She had 2 abortions beforehand. She really didn't want to have kids. She was a party animal herself.
Okay.
My mom was a hippie.
In the blood a little bit?
Oh, yeah. My mom was a straight hippie doing cocaine for a long time. And my stepdad was 12 years older than her. Damn. So he had grandchildren my age.
That's wild.
It's wild, yeah. He's from Arkansas. My mom's from New York. It was a weird combination, right? And so you have this city girl with this country guy, and he grew up on a 300-acre farm with 4 brothers and 5 sisters, poor. He was extremely strict, was in the military at 15, saw war, killed a bunch of people.
Damn.
Yeah. So he had all of his own things. He was a full
Yeah.
blown alcoholic.
Oh,
Drank every day my whole life.
I can
Ended up
imagine
dying of it of cancer because he drank so much.
his fucking
He killed his pancreas and his liver.
yeah,
Yeah. So
cirrhosis.
yeah, yeah. And even after having surgery removing his bladder, still drank. But,
Still kept drinking.
yeah, couldn't
Damn.
stop.
Some people can't stop.
No, no. But yeah, he was extremely strict. Wanted to send me off to military school when I was a kid. My mom's like, no, let's put him in therapy. Blah blah blah. Let's get him on medication. 7 years old, I go to
So what are you doing that they're fucking talking medication and boarding school at 7?
well, my
Like,
mom. So it was only my mom and my grandmother in my life. My grandfather was supposedly wealthy. He had his own little story in it respects to when my mom was raised in New York. I told you about that, and he worked his way up from a janitor to slowly. He worked at this garment company, and who made dresses for models back in New York and back in the day. And he worked himself. He started off as janitor and slowly worked his way up the ladder and started buying parts of the company, stocks in the company, and eventually owned majority of the company.
wow.
A huge company, yeah. It's a crazy story, but um, I mean, he made a success for himself, but was a dick, um, and basically left my mom and grandmother when my mom was 13. So he wasn't in our lives. Pretty much my whole life, it was just my mother and grandmother.
So no father figure
I mean, besides
except
my
for the
stepdad,
stepdad.
yeah, my stepdad, but my uncle wasn't. My mom's brother wasn't in there, and he lived in Pompano, which was 20 minutes away from us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never knew him.
Pompano's close, yeah.
Yeah, never knew him. Never met him. Didn't even know his name for years. Um, but yeah, so it was just us, raised by pretty much two women. My stepdad, like I said, was much older. Was a grandfather. I mean, his grandchildren were my age, which was so weird. Growing up, so he didn't really have a lot of patience. Also, being an alcoholic, he didn't have a lot of patience. Working 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. Already raised kids and grandchildren. He didn't have patience for me.
Gotcha.
My mom was more on, when I was younger, was more on the spoiling side. She also, again, originally didn't want to be a mom. She had to learn how to be a mom because when I was born, I didn't tell you this, when I was born, I was addicted to crack.
Oh, you were a crack baby.
I was a crack baby.
Wow.
Yeah. So Broward County took away my mom's custody for the first 2 years of my life.
Wow.
So my grandmother had custody of me. Yeah, so they lived together, and she had to go through the program
She had
down
to get
there.
well.
Yeah, she had to get well, get herself back together. So yeah, my mom used for years, and she has her own story with. She used to deal cocaine in kilos for the Italian mafia.
Did she really?
Yeah, in Chicago.
Wow.
Yeah, she has a
Fuck,
crazy.
get her on here. Call mom up.
Yeah, she's got a crazy story herself.
That's
but,
wild.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically grew up in two different worlds. My mom was still learning to be a mom even at certain times. My grandmother
Was she like an enabler kind of?
kind of
In a
my
way.
grandmother was more of an enabler. She was what you see in those 1950s TV shows and magazines, that epitome of a mom,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
all she ever wanted to be was a mom. That my grandmother, that's how she was. So she was a spoiler. And yeah, it enabled me when I was young, and I took advantage of that. I'm not gonna lie.
Course, yeah.
I manipulated it. When I only had my mother and my grandmother, if one didn't give me something, I went to the other.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of kids who get enabled. That's just the
Yep.
way it was. My stepdad saw that. He wanted to be extremely strict with me, and some ways she allowed. My mom allowed it, but some ways she didn't. You know, but again, back to the therapy. Went back to therapy. Went to a psychiatrist. Psychiatrist said, like most psychiatrists do, let's put him on medication. You know, it's the way of America.
Right. Yeah. It really is.
So they put me on. I think it was Ritalin first back in the day. Tried that for 6 months, didn't work. Then they put me on Adderall.
So they determined you had ADHD.
They determined I had multiple things: ADHD, ADD, OCD, and bipolar 2.
Holy shit.
Yeah. which I don't know how
That's, yeah, it's
you find that out when I'm
that,
seven
that
years
young.
old.
Yeah, how do you determine that? Your brain hasn't even developed.
No, it doesn't. But again, it's all money for them.
Yeah.
So they put me on medications. I forgot. I don't remember what the dosage was back then, but I was in constant therapy and psychiatry to get money from them, and it was always something wrong instead of it reality. Maybe it was it could have been the parenting, or maybe it could have been, you didn't have time with me. Who knows?
Right.
Parenting has evolved so much in the last 30 years. It's insane.
I don't know if it's evolved for the better or worse, honestly.
I guess it's debatable on
Yeah.
which side you're on.
Yeah.
There's so many forms of parenting today.
Well, some people are so soft.
Yeah, that
Like
permissive
super
parenting.
soft.
Permissive parenting who just let their kids do whatever they
Yeah,
want.
they're woke.
Yeah, that I don't believe in that. You just let your
Yeah.
kids walk all over you. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then there's also arguments of the way parents back then, where if they didn't do what you want, you just beat the crap out
Beat
of
the
them,
shit out of them. Yeah.
and that just causes trauma in itself
Right,
too.
Right.
Um,
Teach you a lesson,
it teaches you a lesson,
Definitely
but
does.
it's more of your fearing
but yeah, your
instead of learning what the problem
fear
is.
of the consequences is
Right,
why you
right.
don't do what you're doing.
Right. Instead of, okay, why are you angry? Why are you mad?
Right.
Or why are you sad? What's the problem? What's the root of the problem?
Sure.
And parents didn't figure that out. No one cared back then. A lot of parents do today. Now, I will say that it's a heck of a lot harder to parent that way, because not wanting to hit your kids is difficult. But in respects to, because in some people, it's easy to get angry at kids when you don't understand and you don't take the time to realize that, like, hey, this kid's not listening. It's not. He's developing, right? Most kids, especially at young ages, are developing. How are you going to get angry at a kid who's developing, who doesn't know how to handle their emotions when adults don't even know how to handle their emotions?
Right. Yeah, it's not time for that discussion yet.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's like, and there's also questions of, when you have guests over, if a guest spills something on the floor, you don't get angry at them, do you?
No, of course.
But you're going to get angry at your child for spilling something on the floor?
Right. Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunately, through constant years and years of programming, in ways we've been stuck in our ways, most parents are quick to snap, yell, hit. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But either way, she didn't even do that. I mean, my mom didn't do that. My stepdad wanted to beat the crap out of me. My mom never wanted to put her hands on me at all. So there was just two opposing forces growing up.
My dad used to spank me, and I'd tell him to hit me harder. That's how I got him to stop doing it.
So me and my stepdad used to have fist fights.
Oh, really?
My stepdad, I told you, when he was 15, he went into the army. Was in the Korean War. He was so crazy. He wanted to get away from his life so bad. He tried to join the army at 14. They caught him. He lied about his age. They caught it. Said, come back next year. He came back next year immediately. Joined.
At 15?
At 15 years old, joined and was in.
Damn, I didn't even know you could do that.
Oh yeah, back then.
Jeez.
So he was deployed. He was He was an army infantry, and then eventually did that for 4 years, and then turned MP for 2 years.
Wow.
But saw battle, killed. I think he said upwards of 13 people.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, imagine doing that as a
that's
teenager.
Taking a toll on your mental big time.
Oh yeah. I mean, in hindsight, when I look back at how he was, I have a lot of respect for him. I hated him growing up, obviously, but because we were from two different worlds. But I respect him tremendously for him being what he went through, and even his determination and his work ethic. But yeah, me and him butted heads all the time. And like, there was one time. Also, he was a boxer in the army, so I know in reality, even though me and him used to fight, he could have beat
he's trained
the crap out of me.
Trained fighters
and
are
chose not to.
Yeah.
Right. But there were in some instances he probably went a little overboard. Instead of restraining me, he did beat the shit out of me a couple times, punched me in the head, and kneed me and everything. My mom called the cops on him, I think, when I was like 10 or 11. I can't remember what it was. Cops asked him to leave one day. They knew what it was. I was being a fucking a bad child in respects. I was just being crazy, and he was teaching me a lesson, and it was what it is. But At the same time, it's two opposing ways of parenting did not mesh.
Right.
Right. Move forward. I got arrested the first time I was 9 years old. There's nothing to even do with drugs.
How does that even happen?
My mom called the cops.
But what were you arrested for? What did they how
So,
did they arrest a
so
9-year-old?
I was having a temper tantrum as a 9-year-old, and she couldn't deal with it. So one day I decided I didn't want to do my homework. So she grabbed my Game Boy and one of my other I think PlayStation or whatever it was, went outside, smashed it on the ground.
Oh.
Smashed it to pieces.
Shit.
So I got pissed and I grabbed a little plastic kid's hikey stick and started smashing a couple photos.
I bet that went well for you.
Yeah. So she immediately called the police on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and honestly, I will never call the cops on my child for something like that. That's insane. I mean, my mom didn't know how to deal with it. It is what it is, but like, that's not something to call the cops on.
No.
It's crazy.
9-year-old. No.
Yeah. And admitted, like, it took like an hour, I remember, for a cop to get there because
of course, because
cops don't care.
No.
It's something that's not important to them.
It's funny when you need them, they fucking take forever.
Yeah.
But
now
when you don't, man, they're there.
Sergeant got there and was like, just had this look on his face, like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to deal with this.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah. Like, he kept telling me to sit down, and I was being rebellious. I was 9. I had a little attitude. I refused to sit down. I told him to go fuck himself at 9 years old. I had a little mouth on me.
Okay, yeah.
And he looked at my mom's like, what is up with this kid? She's like, I don't know what to do with him. And obviously, she was out of her depth, you know. And either way, he took me to jail. I spent one night in juvenile detention.
Juvie.
And got in front of the judge. Judge looked at me. He's like, what is this kid doing here? Oh, he had a temper tantrum. Judge looked at the prosecutor,
Like
looked
what?
at my mom like, you can't control your kid. You can't deal with a kid who has a temper tantrum.
Yeah, your 9-year-old.
Yeah, let him go.
Get him
released.
out of my courtroom.
Yeah. And this happened multiple times, and then it eventually, because things weren't handled over the next breath of 3 years, I got arrested 11 more times. And that was whether it was at home, I was fighting with my stepdad, or fighting at school.
So you were no stranger to juvie.
No, they knew me.
At all.
Yeah, they knew me.
What was juvie like?
I mean, it's really no different from jail.
Just fights and
I mean, there's more
bullshit?
fights, a lot more fights than regular county, because
That's what I hear.
Kids are crazy.
That's what I hear, yeah.
Kids have no, they don't care. They don't know what it means for life or death. They don't understand what could possibly happen. I'm constantly seeing.
It's the same thing in adult county jail with the 19, 20, 21-year-olds.
Yeah,
They act out.
I have experience with that too. I'll tell you too. But yeah, they used to know me. Every time I would come in, I'd be like, every couple months, I'd be like, "Hi, Mr. Shaw, welcome back."
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. And yeah, not something I'm proud of, but it is what it is. So basically, and you know what enabled me even more? I had the same judge for all those years, the whole time, right? And the judge every time would ask, "Okay, what are his grades?" And I always got A's, almost all A's, sometimes a couple B's. Oh, he's got great grades. Let him go.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's not doing anything for me.
Well,
That's just saying, oh, if he gets good grades, he can do whatever he wants.
right.
In my brain, I thought, great, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And so I did. There was no true consequences until the 12th time I got arrested at 12 years old, and the judge is like, all right, I think we've had enough. So the judge is like, all right, I'm gonna sentence you to a juvenile, like prison, juvenile program, they call them in Florida. There's levels. There's level 6, 8, 10s, right? 6 and 8 go from anywhere from 8 months to a year. Level 8 is anywhere from a year to, I think, 16 months, I believe, if I remember correctly. And a level 10 can be anywhere from a year to 3 years.
Damn.
Yeah. So I was sentenced to a level 8. There was a place called Gulf Academy. Yeah, so I stayed in county jail for 4 months, or juvenile, sorry, for 4 months, waiting for someone to come get me. Eventually got sentenced. Got brought over there. This was in Tampa, Florida. First day I get in there, I fight. First day, I'm literally getting processed.
Yep.
I'm getting processed. They bring me back. This is like a split dormitory. They have a girl side and a boy side.
Okay.
I go back. I get in there. You first go onto the right into the boy side because the front is more like counselors,
Sure.
chow hall, all
Offices.
that stuff. Yeah. I get in, go to the right. They have a day room, and then in the back is all the
Racks.
rooms. Yeah. And there's one kid. He's 17 years old. Go in. This older, tall. He's like 6'4", probably 250-pound. Black dude, one of the staff members, was escorting me back to show me everything. And I get into the day room. The 17-year-old starts spouting nonsense, saying, "Oh, look at this little kid. What did you do to get in here?" He was just talking stuff. And all I remember was he was talking shit. I got pissed, went over and punched him in the face.
Damn. Good for you. At
Punched
that
him in the
age.
face. The guy, the staff member, snatched me up, threw me in confinement, which was right there. Solitary. Literally, I was having a fit. I was trying to fight him. He literally put me on the ground and sat on top of me. He's like, "Are you gonna cool down?"
You done yet?
"Yeah, you done yet?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "All right, you can stay in here for a couple hours and chill." I was like, "Yeah, this is great." I'm thinking to myself, got into a fight first day. Immediately, I'm like, "This looks great."
Yeah, right. Great start.
Yeah, great start. Actually, it was the only incident I had the whole time I was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because someone had a conversation with me. One of the staff members the next day brought me in. He's like, "Listen, if this is how things are gonna go, we're just gonna kick you right out, and then you're gonna go to county, and then you're gonna go to the next level.
The real, yeah.
You're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
I promise you're not gonna like it. You think you're tough, and then we're gonna put you with a bunch of guys like that.
Yeah.
A bunch of kids like this at 17, 18 years old who are gonna beat your ass.
Yeah. Daily.
Yeah." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want to do that."
Yeah. Pass.
I'll stand up for myself, but I don't feel like fighting every day, you know? But so, that goes okay. I did pretty well in that. I ended up staying there 14 months, I believe.
So what the fuck? You're just out of school?
No, they have school in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have school in there.
Oh, okay.
It was some bullshit school.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a little teacher that teaches you some, but most of the stuff they give you assignments and you do yourself. So you're in 2 different classrooms.
Okay.
One class for 2 hours. It's only 4 hours of class a day. And halftime they have a bunch of textbooks. You just like, here, go do some free learning.
Figure it out.
Yeah. Luckily, I was a very smart kid. When I was, but right before that happened, when I was in school, I think I was 12 years old, 11, 12 years old. I had my IQ test and I had over almost a 140 IQ.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I was just teaching myself algebra and English and everything by myself.
Wow.
I don't know how well I was doing, but I was trying to teach myself.
Right.
But
that's all you had to work with.
yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean that went on again for 14 months. That was actually where I saw my the psychiatrist I met, who the first one I truly opened up to, because most of them growing up, I told you, saw multiple therapists growing up and off and on, and they had me on 14 pills a day before I got there. I was on 120 milligrams of Adderall as a kid. That's 4 pills a day, which is
shocking.
It's the maximum dose you can get, and most adults don't even get that.
We had one dude who I think he claimed he was on 180 a day.
I thought the most was 120, but
I don't know.
Yeah, I was taking
either way. That's a shitload of Adderall.
Yeah, 4 of the 30 milligram pills per day. I was on what's it called? It's another pill. It's a capsule.
Lithium?
Gabapentin.
Oh, gabapentin.
I was on gabapentin 4 times a day.
Damn.
4 of those a day.
You can get fucked up on those.
I was on 4 of those a day, and then I was also on 2 other pills, and then for the day, and then at night I was on 2 trazodone a day just to try and sleep,
Jesus.
which didn't work. So yeah, I was on a concoction.
Quite the smorgasbord.
I was on a concoction.
Yeah.
But this guy, I can't remember his last name, but I remember his first name was Brian, who's the therapist at this place, at this super cool, super down to earth, not like your standard therapist, psychiatrist. Got me to open up and talk about some things going on, and worked on some things, and it definitely helped me out. And when he first saw, I think it was the first couple of weeks, he saw all the medications I was taking. He's like, "You're not taking all this anymore. We're done." He took me off everything and put me on one Adderall XR time released per day. That was it.
Okay. Well, that's fair.
That's fair. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, and I'm like, okay, perfect. I think it was a 30 milligram time release.
Yeah.
And he's like, my goal is in the next few years, you can get weaned off and you won't take any medication. We're going to teach you how to deal with your issues by yourself. And I did. By the time I was 15, I wasn't taking any more medication.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
So I mean, that raises the question: did you ever really need it?
no, probably not. No. It's just how to deal with your emotions and how to
Yeah.
deal with your problems.
Yeah.
I don't think most people, I think a good majority of kids and adults probably don't need medication.
Right.
But it's just it's money. It's all
Yeah.
it is. But that's another conversation. But so I get home, 13, doing pretty good. Started this I started middle school, hanging out. I think it was like maybe within a month or two of getting back. That's when I get in. Went to these kids' houses. Someone had some weed, and that's where it all started.
That's where it began.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I don't want to be left out.
So at 13, you're smoking a little weed.
So they passed this blunt. It had some white. I don't know if you remember back in the day, the strains had a white rhino in it.
I remember all the strains.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, they had this. They rolled a blunt with white rhino. I hit it, and it was on and popping from that point forward.
In fact, I used to make up strains when I sold my weed. I'd make up names.
I taught myself how to do hydroponics, and then eventually I was doing
Did
cross pollination.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I didn't get that till I was like 17, but
Damn.
it was insane. So it took off from there.
Was it like the world opened up? Were you like, oh my god, this is amazing?
Yeah. So I mean, I was just started to become a heavy smoker from that point forward. First year freshman of high school, I started to deal, right?
Damn, just straight to it.
Yeah, I was smoking maybe a year and a half, and then I saw, because high school in itself is its own enterprise.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
It really is.
Yes.
You
it
get to
is.
meet so many different kinds of people, and unfortunately, I saw an opportunity. I saw an opportunity to make some money.
Fuck
right?
yeah.
I
did the
wanted
same
money.
thing.
I was always that kid in school with money, and people were like, "How do you get this?" Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. But I was also, at the same time, I was a hustler, because every summer during high school, I was also at a full-time job.
Really?
Yeah, I had a
Okay.
full-time job. So during school, and I was selling weed, and eventually started selling more stuff, but I was selling candies out of my backpack. I was getting all different kinds of candies, like every kind. My whole backpack, front part of my backpack was full of different candies. So I was hustling that. I was even doing some papers for some kids to get money.
God, you had all the symptoms early on.
Oh yeah,
Like God.
yeah.
Damn.
I was addicted to money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, it was funny. Go back. I was addicted to money even younger. I was 5 years old. My mom was giving just a quick story. My mom was giving me allowance. It's like $20 a month or something like that. And I was like 5 or 6 or whatever it was. There's a school store in my school, and I think I had like $150 in my little piggy bank, and I took the money, and I went just to be impressed, try to be impressive, show off to all the kids. I went and spent like over $100 at this little school store, and then that same day, some kid saw the money I had, robbed me for the rest of my money. I chased him all the way down to his house, and he was poor, and it was like poor. He was I don't know if you were poor. I don't know. Lower class, whatever. I mean, I was only middle class,
lower middle.
whatever. My mom worked 2 jobs just to take care of us, but I wouldn't say I was doing much better than him. But either way, I know he wasn't doing very well, because I chased him all the way back to his house, was banging on his door. His mom came out, said I was a liar. I remembered his house. My house wasn't very far. I ran all the way back to my house, got my mom, went back to his house, they
Figured the
worked it
whole
out,
thing out.
and my mom was talking to him, and I overheard that they weren't doing very well, um, and that she eventually just let them keep it. She was trying to be nice, and but yeah, I was trying to be a show off at a young age, and I knew, well, I didn't know, but I mean that there were signs.
And it's funny, you kind of pay a consequence for it. You got robbed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I know the kid did it for not just to try and rob me for.
Right,
He
right.
did it because he was trying to help his mom.
Yeah, he needed the money.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So my mom was like, okay, whatever, just let him have it. And but yeah, there were always signs, and I also think that it was part of, my mom was an addict, my dad was an addict.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just it is what it is.
That's my same story. My whole family, from top to bottom, alcoholics, addicts.
Yeah.
Except for my dad. My dad was the only one that wasn't. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. My grandmother wasn't, and which is funny. According to my dad now, none of my other dad's family was. So it was just my mom and dad. But when both of your parents are,
Yeah.
I think the statistics says you have a 75% higher chance of becoming
fucked.
one.
You're pretty much fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is what it is. Which is funny because, well, I guess it's not too bad because my dad obviously has a whole nother family now. I have 3 other half brothers.
Do you?
I'll get to that too. None of them are addicts.
Yet, or they're aged
At all,
out?
ever.
Yeah, just
No,
never.
they're one's 24, one's 22, and one's 18, and none of them are.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Again, it could happen later, but
yeah.
the probability is usually a lot lower if it hasn't
That's
happened already.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Are you selling the weed initially just to pay for your own weed?
I started off that way.
Yeah.
I started off that way to pay for my habit, and then I realized how much money I could make, and I'm like, okay. And then I started finding out about everything. I started testing the waters. I started doing other things. I started at 15. I tried shrooms, and I tried hashish. I tried what's it called, peyote.
Peyote.
Peyote, yeah.
I've heard of peyote. What is peyote?
So peyote is a herb that a lot of Indian tribes use, and it also induced a certain type of high and like hallucinations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was crazy because I had a friend who was at my school.
How the fuck did you get that?
I had a friend who was from the school, and his whole family was from the tribe.
Wow.
Yeah. So his dad and his uncles and all that did that.
They just had
so
access to it.
Well, he grabbed it from his house when
Yeah.
he wasn't supposed to, but
Yeah. Wow.
yeah.
I haven't heard that one ever. Peyote.
That stuff is crazy.
Anybody using peyote.
But
I know the name, but
that's not the. Well, Ibogaine crazy, but that's not the most extensive hallucinogen I've ever done. But
well, right.
but yeah, that started opening my world. Then I started at 16. I started, opening. Okay, everyone's doing this, so let me start selling everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Why not?
By 16, I was selling everything besides like really hard drugs. They weren't really
Like
doing
crack, cocaine, heroin.
I wasn't
Yeah.
I wasn't introduced to that yet.
You were doing I'm sure pills.
No, I wasn't even doing pills.
Oh, really?
No,
Just
I wasn't pills, not yet.
hallucinogens
Yeah, and I
weed?
was doing I was doing cocaine occasionally.
Okay.
I was testing the waters there.
Okay.
But it was funny. I have this weird tolerance. I have a tolerance to cocaine. Natural, because I don't know if maybe because I was a crack baby, but the first time I tried cocaine,
Could be.
it could have been, honestly, it could have been the fact that the first time I tried it,
It was shit.
it was shit, but from my memory, it was fish scale.
Okay.
So, I mean, back in 2006, it wasn't really a
You
time.
got a higher probability of it being better cocaine.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of that back then. I mean, there people cut it, but usually when you saw a lot of fish scale, it wasn't that cut.
Right.
But I think I did like half a gram, and I didn't really feel much.
Damn.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's probably a chance it was probably cut like to about 60%. It wasn't super pure.
Right.
But still, at the same time, it's like it never even later down the road, it didn't really affect me like that.
And are
Like,
you thinking to yourself like this could be a problem. I mean,
No,
you're
no,
not really having any consequences from it.
no. I was
Loving it.
yeah.
That's how I was.
Yeah.
I love selling drugs. I love the need. The people needing me was like such a great feeling.
I didn't see any problem in it
Like,
at all. Dealing was just a thing. It was just, but I was under the delusion that, I'm indestructible, and that was from the paradigm of getting in trouble so much as a kid and never really having serious consequences,
Right.
except for the one time. Okay. Oh yeah, I got sent to
camp.
a little camp after getting arrested 12 times. So what are they going to do to me?
Right.
Okay, if I get caught one time as an adult, they're going to let me go.
Yeah.
That was my thinking.
Yeah. More than likely, you're right.
Yeah, and fortunately, eventually moved forward. I was doing a lot. I mean, eventually I was full on pothead. I was smoking probably half ounce to an ounce every couple days.
Damn.
By the time I was 18, my buddy Kyle, back up, 17 years old. I was partying so hard, and I was getting really good grades, right? I had a chance to get a full ride to college.
Damn.
I had a chance. I wasn't genius. I mean, I could have been if I would have pushed my effort.
If you had applied yourself.
I would have applied myself. I could have probably got a full scholarship anywhere, but I had almost a 4.0. I was doing honors classes.
Jesus.
Yeah. When I went to high school, they tried to, because I went to that program, they tried to put me in ESE classes. You know what those are?
No.
ESE classes are people who have either disability, learning
like a
disability.
learning disability.
And I
deal.
told them, I told them, I was like, listen, I'm not going to do these classes. You might as well just fail me. I was like, this is stupid. I'm way above this. Either put me in a better class, or I'm just not going to go to school. So my mom had to sit down with the administration, and they said, okay, we're going to see how well you do. We're going to put you in this honors math class. My math teacher was a college professor. This was 9th grade. And they're like, you know what? Let's see how good you are. No one in her class got an A. No one. Like, that's how hard her class was. She was giving some college algebra lessons in there.
Damn.
I was one of the closest people to ever get an A. I got like an 89.1, which back then was an 89.5.
So like a B plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started off, it was really hard, right? Because I wasn't used to it. My first quarter, I got a D, and then I pushed forward and was doing really good. My spring break, most teachers don't really give you much. They gave us over 250 problems.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was our spring break. Yeah.
Ugh. Gross.
Yeah.
God.
But it pushed me forward. But that all went downhill sophomore year when I started getting heavy. Like I told you, I got heavy into the drugs, started dealing, and I started focusing more on that. Junior year, I did okay, and then at the end of the year, I was a person who constantly carried a knife on me, right? I always carried a pocket knife. I love butterfly knives. So one day, I was probably 3 weeks outside of the end of junior year, sitting back in one of the chairs, knife fell out of my pocket. And I jumped over the table so quickly to grab that knife, but of course someone saw it. 20 minutes later, police.
A student?
Oh yeah, someone reported me.
So a kid told on you?
Yeah, kid told on me. 20 minutes later, school police come through the door, asked me to leave. Asked me to come out. Obviously they expelled me from school.
They expelled you?
They expelled me from school. Yeah.
For having a knife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What the fuck? I would think that suspension would come first.
No, because I had an issue I had an issue previously when I was in freshman year, with a knife also.
Okay.
But
so
still,
they went straight to expulsion.
Yeah. They weren't playing around.
Damn.
This was one of the nicer schools. Originally, the school, when I first started at the school, it was only there for 2 years. It was only open for 2 years.
Brand new.
The first 2 years of that school were nothing but gang wars. And then the year I started, they switched all of that. They basically took all those kids that were in the gang wars and gangs, shipped them off somewhere else. Said, hey, we're not going to deal with that. We're going to turn our D school into an A school. So they switched their whole vibe of the school. So it turned into a better school. It was right outside of Wellington, which is a nicer area in Palm Beach. So they had stricter standards.
Higher expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they kicked me out. I came back like 2 weeks later to go grab all my stuff, and one of my teachers, I was in coding for school. My coding teacher,
Like computer coding.
Yeah.
You guys had coding classes.
Mhm.
Damn.
Yeah. I started learning coding at 14. I had the knowledge for it, and I did computer programming and network administration. It's funny because I told you I was working at 14, right? And during the summers, my mom worked for a travel agency, but the travel agency, they it's not a travel agency. They were a software company that made websites for travel agencies.
Okay.
Say. And some of the computer programmers that they work for were pretty smart. One of the guys that actually worked for them was, I don't know if you know anything about coding, but was one of the 20 original founders for
HTML is about as far as I go.
So one of the guys who worked there was one of the founders of PHP.
Oh, okay.
Which is one of the largest languages known.
PHP, Java.
PHP
HTML.
is probably the most widely, or one of the most widely known coding languages, and has been for over 20 years.
Jeez.
Some of the most software websites are all run off PHP, and they were. I mean, that has been changing over the last 5 to 10 years now, but for 20 plus years, it was the
PHP,
biggest.
Yeah.
This guy was very smart. His name was Jeremy Hughes, and it was funny. His father, or one of his relatives, was Howard Hughes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a little eccentric, but he was a good guy. But yeah, I worked every summer. So I always had, again, that was my hustle. I always had money. But go back to 18, and my friend Kyle, who I grew up with and who lived in my neighborhood and went to high school with me, he introduced me to pills. So he
opiates.
Oxys, yeah.
Oxys.
Yeah. He had done
the 80s.
Huh?
The 80s or the 30s?
No. The actual OxyContin and Roxys. Both.
Okay, yeah.
Both.
Okay.
So
okay.
the 30s and OxyContin 20s and 40s.
Okay.
This is before, the big ban, you know.
And you're down in Florida too, so you're in fucking prime real estate.
This was 2008,
Yeah.
right? This was
yeah.
one of the heights.
It's popping.
Yeah. So he
Oh, it had to be flooded, dude.
The way he introduced me, I'm 18. He didn't introduce me, sorry, till I was 19. 18, I got introduced into pills because I had, at 12 years old, or 11, sorry, I fell through a construction site when I was 11 and broke both my legs and compressed my spine.
Damn.
So I was in casts for 4.5 months. Then I was in those blue leg braces for another 2.5 months. My legs, my muscles, because I was in it for so long in a wheelchair, my legs had atrophied, my muscles.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to walk. I was in physical therapy for another 2 months. But by that time, my back had gotten so bad that my doctor actually, my family doctor gave me perks.
Damn.
So he put me on to it. And he's like, hey, ask her for perks without the acetaminophen. He's like, tell him it upsets your stomach. I'm like, all right. So then they started giving me, Oxy 5s and 10s.
Yeah.
You know?
Didn't have the fucking, so you could snort them.
Yeah.
Yep.
And eventually that stopped kind of working. I was only taking that every once in a while. We were just partying with it every once in a while. Then, right before I turned 19, right after I turned 19, my stepdad died of cancer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he was battling cancer for, I think it was 10 or 11 months. But he was a true alcoholic through and through. He ended up getting bladder cancer. They removed his bladder in a 8.5-hour surgery. After that, they were prescribing him every pill in the book.
Yeah.
That he was getting, I think it was 180 Oxy 30s, Roxys a month.
Jesus.
He was getting 120 Oxy 20s, 90 Oxy 40s, and 10 fentanyl patches a month.
Holy fuck.
When I'm talking, they were dosing him. They were dosing him.
That is so much.
So much.
So much.
So much. And he never took any of it.
Really?
He kept filling it every month. And
so
barely.
He's just fucking stacking up pills.
Stacking it. So when he died, He had
Oh
thousands
my
and
God.
thousands of pills just stashed in his
Just
closet.
sitting there.
Yeah. And I didn't know truly what the game was about until
The
then.
value.
And back then, at that point, you were selling those on average for 20 to 30 a pop. So we sold half of them. Sold them for we made a couple. I think it was like 20, 30 grand, and that was low. We got a cheap price because we were selling
Jesus.
20, 30 at a time and getting giving people
Bulk
deals.
prices, yeah.
And then we were like, for the first month also, we were just fucking partying our asses
Just
off.
crushing pills
So
left
we
and
were
right.
popping Oxy 20s, crushing up Oxy 20s every hour, Oxy 40s, putting them in shots, taking shots. Just, I can't even remember how many pills we did, but and obviously we didn't have the tolerance for that. But
Right.
I don't know how we didn't OD, but we didn't at that time. So I'm freshly turned 19.
How was the opiate experience for you when like initially?
The first time I actually took opiates, um, I was 17 actually. My neighbor, uh, my neighbor's wife, was getting prescribed them, and she was a full blown alcoholic. She loved drinking her wine. She would sit out on the
Sure.
front. She'd get blasted. Sometimes pop a couple pills. One day she came over to me. She knew I smoked weed, and and she knew I did shit. I got in trouble. So she came over to me. She's like, "Hey, Josh, give me some weed." I'm like, "Okay." So how much do you want? She's like, "Give me a quarter." It's like, "All right." I'm like, "All right." So I'm like, "This is this much." She's like, "Do you want this?" I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" And she's like, these are pain pills. She's like, they'll get you high. I'm like, okay. She's like, I'll give you 5 of them. So she gave me 5 Roxy 30s.
Damn, for a quarter of weed?
Yeah.
Not
Right?
bad.
She didn't pay shit. She
It's
got it. She,
fair.
she didn't pay shit back then, and
Yeah.
she was getting them for a prescription,
Free.
for insurance. So, I know me and my buddy, we went into it. He's like, all right, man, don't take a whole one. He's like, if you take a whole one, you never take one before. If
You're
you take
gonna
a whole one,
throw up.
you're gonna throw up.
Yeah.
I looked at him. I'm like, it's too late. I'd already popped it. I was a person who did everything in excess. That's just how I was.
Yep.
And I didn't care about the consequences. So I popped it. It's like an hour later. He's like, how you feeling? I'm like, I feel fine. He's like, you high? I'm like, yeah, I'm fucked up. He's like, you don't want to throw up? You're not nauseous? I'm like, nope. And I'm thinking to myself, do I just have like a tolerance to opiates too? And I'm like, oh, fuck. And like a couple hours later, I took another one. And
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it.
It was
And
when I did my first oxy, dude. I was literally calling my friends.
yeah,
Like, hey, you have to come try this. This is the best thing in the world. Like,
yeah,
and it wasn't like me trying to get them hooked on drugs or to sell them drugs. I
yeah,
literally wanted to share the experience
yeah.
with my friends because it was so fucking good.
So it was really good, but at the time she wouldn't give me any more. So like my connection was already cut, right? And I hadn't had the like I don't know, maybe it wasn't the I guess the time of my life to the extent that I was jonesing for it and I was
Right.
searching for it. So
Right.
it just went to the back of my mind
Sure.
until
You
the
had
next
5
year.
of them, whatever.
Yeah, and I had split that with my friends.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. And then I took the perks. The perks didn't do much. It gave me a little buzz and everything. But at 19, when I got that stash from my stepfather when he passed, I that memory came back, and I was like, all right, now it's over.
This is what I want to do.
Yeah. So well, go back to when I was 18, right? This is the first. I'm going to say the first time I got arrested as an adult. I got arrested in total, I think 9 or 10 times as an adult.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right up there with me.
So I'm 3 months after I turned 18. It didn't even last 3 months. My stepdad had pills in his closet. This weren't even these same pills. These were some other pills. I didn't even know what they were. I grabbed some. Some were some muscle relaxers, and then that's what I had taken because that's all I could figure out what he had. So I took some of that. We had some weed on us. It's me and 3 of my buddies. We went to one of our friends' house. His name was called him B Dog, in Forest Hill, Wellington area.
Okay.
So we were driving over there. One of my buddies in the passenger seat was where he's throwing firecrackers out the window, lighting them and throwing firecrackers out. I looked at him. I was like, bro, his name was Alex. Alex, stop. Stop throwing
That's
firecrackers out the window.
fucking
You're going to get us
dumb.
fucking pulled
Yeah.
over.
Yep.
We're about to go into the nice area of town, and you're going to get us definitely fucking pulled over.
Yep.
I'm like, we're literally about to pull in this fucking neighborhood. Just
Stop.
chill out.
Stop.
Wait till we get in
Yeah.
there. Once we're in there, it doesn't matter,
Right.
right? I'm driving this little my Honda. It was a little '96 Civic. So as I'm making the left turn, he throws one more, and I'm like, all right, whatever. I completely run the stop sign. I look in the rearview mirror as I'm doing this. This van comes up behind us and it's following us. Don't think anything of it. I go through the neighborhood, pull into my friend's driveway. Soon as I park, what do you think happens?
Lights come on.
Mm-hmm. This freaking van had jump out boys. They come out full freaking full SWAT gear.
Damn.
Come out, tell us to get on the ground. I look at him.
Why? Just fight the firecrackers? What?
Later down the road, they said it was because of that. They thought it could have been a gun.
Okay.
But
that makes sense. I mean I
think it's just an excuse. It makes sense as their excuse, but cops will do anything to just as whatever.
Yeah.
But so yeah, they pull us out, put us on the ground, saying we're all gonna get arrested. They search us. They see I had the pills. They're like, all right, you're going to jail. I'm 18. All three of them are 17.
Oh.
So
they're all going home.
Yeah. So they're like, yeah, you three are going home, and like, tell us the truth. I lied. I'm like, well, no, I didn't lie at that time. So they're like, so you're 18. We're gonna take you back. Before they could put us in their cars, they went back to their cars to start talking, and I was handcuffed. I got up on my feet, walked over to Alex, kicked him in the face, called him a dumbass, and the cop came over here and tackled me. He's like, well, I was going to let you go, but now you're going to go fucking to county.
Now you're definitely going.
Yeah, I was going to give you a written arrest. Now you're going to go to county.
I bet you were pissed.
I didn't care. I was like, I didn't care. I was so mad at him. I was like, your dumbass just caused this.
Yeah, you caused
this.
You caused it.
So they bring us back to their small station. They're trying to hype this up because I'm the one that got caught with the pills. Right. They got caught with just some weed.
Right.
They're like, yeah. So they're trying to scare the shit out of me. They're like, hey, you're going to prison. I'm going to sentence you to make sure you go to prison for 5 years. I'm looking at them like, dude, have you looked at my record? They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I've been arrested multiple times. Like, you think you're going to scare me? I know I'm not going to prison over something like that.
No, not the first time.
I'm like, come on.
No.
And they're like, all right, you think you know it all. They kept trying for like an hour. Eventually, they booked me. Got into the front of the. I mean, again, I was a little worried. This is my first time being in county jail. It was a whole different experience for me.
Yeah.
County jail is a whole big difference from juvenile.
Yeah.
Right.
It is.
So yeah, I was a little worried. I'm in a whole different environment. I was down in those in the processing set of rooms. I think it was for like 18 hours.
Yeah, that's what it is in Columbus.
Freezing cold.
Columbus is the same way. You're fucking laying on toilet paper rolls and like covering yourself.
Oh, they don't give you that. They don't care.
You
gotta. So in there, you gotta. If you want to use the restroom, because you're in a cell full of 20 people.
Yeah.
Like you gotta ask for toilet paper roll, use the restroom, and give it back.
What?
Yeah.
They wouldn't even give you toilet paper.
No, you have to ask for it. You got to knock on the door.
That's crazy.
And wait for them to give it to you. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, I thought our fucking county jail sucked. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, So they process me. I go in front of the first appearance next day.
OR, right?
Yeah, they OR me.
Of course.
Yeah, they OR me. Then they brought me back next week. They're like, you know what? We're gonna sentence you because they charged me with
felony
possession of the third degree substance or what it was. So which is they call it an F3 down there.
Yeah. It's an F5 up here.
Yeah. So it was punishable up to 5 years. It could.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, hey, you got two choices. We're going to sentence you to a year's probation, or we're going to sentence you to drug court. I'm talking to my public defender.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, what the heck's the difference?
Do you know what drug court is?
That's what I was asking. I was like, what's the difference between drug court and this? They're like, yeah, so drug probation is you just check in once a month. And I'd been in probation as a juvenile, so I pretty much knew what the gist was.
Regular probation is it's cake if you're not fucking around.
Right. And this was drug probation.
But drug court's a different fucking story.
Well, there is either drug probation or drug court.
Oh, okay.
So drug probation is really not much different. You're just drug tested more.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
And drug court is over there is you got to go to court every single month.
I was in it.
Yeah.
I was in a drug court program.
I did it twice.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you graduate both times?
Twice.
I graduated my first time, but I fucked up in the middle of it and went to prison.
So they're like, yeah, you got to go to court once a month, depending on the level you start off on. You got to go to counseling every single week. You got to get drug tested, random drug testing.
Fucking, it's like 5 days a week.
Yeah, so there they give you a color.
Yep,
right?
color code.
So you got to call every single day.
Check your color.
And if your color gets called, you got to go. There were some times I would get tested. I would get drug tested 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And if you don't show up, you fail.
Yep.
You know.
Did they do like little sanctions? Like if you fail to drop, you go for like 3 days or something?
Yeah, the first one. So this is what happened. My first 4.5 months, I failed. Yeah.
Just fell flat on your face.
Yeah, I just said I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
So first time I had to write an essay. Second time I spent one overnight. Third time I spent 72 hours. Last time a judge brought before me. He's like, listen, this is the last time. You're gonna go for a week. If you get caught again, I'm sending you to a year in prison.
Damn.
Yep.
Normally, drug courts, it's like pulling teeth to get the judge to send you to prison.
No, the judge didn't care. He's like, you're just saying fuck me.
You're
just basically saying screw you
fuck
and to
this
me.
Whole program.
Yeah, and drug court was on the newer end back then.
Oh yeah.
So they were trying to be tough.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well I definitely don't want to go to prison. So I got sober. I started doing what I needed to do, and I stayed sober for the next 8.5 months. Also was first time I was introduced to AA and NA. So I went into NA at that time. So did NA.
You were doing drugs. So.
Yeah, I was doing NA. Yeah. So got a sponsor, had a grant sponsor, which my first grant sponsor at the time was actually a really cool dude. I eventually became friends with him later. He had 32 years sober at the time when I met him. And my sponsor had 8 years. But I didn't really work the program. I didn't want to be there. I was showing up to meetings late, leaving early,
signing your own slips.
Yeah,
or anything.
yeah. They didn't. I did not do it. Literally, the day I got out of drug court, the day I got released, I went and got high.
Wow.
The day, yeah. I did not even wait.
Jesus.
Yeah.
After that long of a haul.
8.5 months.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was only staying sober to
spite them.
So I get to spite them, so I wouldn't go to prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was it.
I tried the same thing, and I lasted 6 months.
Yeah.
And then I went to prison.
So that was when 19, right after I was turned 19, stepfather died. Boom. Went off and popping.
Opiates.
So now, this was, I think those pills lasted probably about 3 months. That supply, because we sold a bunch.
Right.
So,
but still 3 months.
Yeah.
And you had all those pills. You're moving a lot of fucking.
Yeah,
pills.
but we're throwing parties. I'm just.
You're just
handing them out, whatever,
like
and yeah. So always trying to impress people when I shouldn't be. I think it was like when the supply was getting low, I'm like, all right. Me and my buddy Kyle was like, all right, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do about replenishing this? So we started researching, and then we found out about pain clinics. I'm like, all right, so let's do this. So we went to a pain clinic, paid $600 to get it to become members. Got the fake MRIs. Yeah. Yep. So didn't go through insurance, and then we went through their pharmacy. Had to pay like another $600 to fill the scripts. So we were getting prescribed 240 oxys or OxyContin 30s. We were getting 240 Xanax bars and 180 somas.
Oh my god!
Remember somas?
Yeah, I do.
Oh man.
I took them very few times because they just weren't really around like that, but I do remember them. Yes.
Yeah. So that started that. I think it was maybe 4 or 5 months into that, we came up with an idea. We're like, hey, there's so many people who need to go into these pain clinics. So many addicts who can't afford it. why don't we start sponsoring people? So within a year, I was sponsoring 10 to 12 people every month.
Jesus.
So
So you had a network.
network. So my thing was every person got 240 of each, 240 oxys, 240 that I would give them only 40 of each, and I'd keep the rest.
Holy shit, what a deal.
So a couple thousand. Well, yeah, I mean, they're getting it free. I'm paying for everything.
Yeah.
So they're getting, I'm giving them all the somas. And I didn't care about the somas.
Right, fuck those.
I'm getting them all the somas, 40 oxys, 40 Roxys, and 40 Xanax bars for free. They don't do anything but show up.
Yep.
That's a deal.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it is.
So I was giving them that. So you're talking between 2,000 to 2,400 pills on average every month I was getting.
God damn.
Selling them for 20 to 30 pills, $30 at a pop.
And the 2008, that's about 2008, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
2009
about right.
at the time.
Yeah, that's about right. That's when I started, was 2009. And
Yeah.
I was paying like $45 for 80s back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
God.
So
It's a lot of money.
it's a lot of money. Yeah. I was on average had anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000 a month in my pocket
Jesus.
back then at 19
Wow.
years old. It was ridiculous.
You had to have thought your head had to have been fucking enormous.
It was, of course. And then my actual habit eventually, by the time I was right when I turned 2011, when I turned 21, was the craziest year. So I had saved up probably $200 something thousand, right?
Holy shit.
Yeah. And this was after partying all the time.
200K?
200K. So this was after partying my ass off still.
Where are you putting this money?
I just had it cash stashed in boxes
God.
in my closet. So, and this is after being a dick and always asking my mom for money too.
Did you help mom out?
No. I was a dick to my mom.
Didn't-
My mom went through hell for
Didn't
me.
kick her a 20 now and then?
So it was funny when I was eventually I did, but this was later down the road, right? In the first couple of years, no, I didn't want her to know anything because where was this? Where was I getting out of it?
Right.
I had a little part-time job here and there, but most of the time I was away. My mom never saw me, so I would be away. I would live at my mom's house, but I was also going to college at the same time, right?
You did go to college.
I did go to college.
Okay.
So I went to college at 18.
Where'd you go?
Huh?
Where'd you go?
Palm Beach Community College, it was called at the time.
Okay.
And then it eventually switched its name to Palm Beach State
Okay.
University. So I went to college for 2 years. Probably like 6 months after my stepdad died, I quit. I quit, right? So maybe almost before I turned 20 is right when I quit because that was when my addiction really took off, right? I was doing so many pills, I couldn't go to class. Couldn't really hold a job. I was just doing what I wanted.
Yeah.
Backtrack a story really quick before that goes on. 18 years old, I got a job at Taco Bell at a franchise.
Okay.
At this time, for some reason, I was hanging around with only 3 Spanish guys. I don't know why. I don't even remember. It's because remember when I told you I got expelled from that school?
Yeah.
I went to another school, which was a school for bad kids, and I was only there for 6 months because the kids who were around it I was only hanging out with Spanish kids who were there really. So I ended up hacking the computer because I was good at programming. I got into the administrator's account, gave myself all A's, and didn't go to school anymore. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, that school had like almost no security on it. I was constantly watching the administrators and teachers put in their passwords. So it's not really hack, I guess you say. I went into there, got their passwords.
Yeah.
They changed it, but I ended up putting a backdoor because one of the security added some extra security. You know, you put the 2-layer. Hey, I added this my email as I can reset the password too. So I remember I changed the grade.
The two-factor
Yeah.
authentication.
So I remember I changed the grade, right? And then someone found out, changed the password. I went back, changed the password again.
Okay.
So, and eventually, for the most of the class, I would give myself most A's and, just pass and didn't have to do the work. But yeah, I started hanging out with these Spanish kids, and I got a job at this franchise at Taco Bell. This guy sold his car wash to open up a franchise at Taco Bell. The guy's name was Mitch. I can't remember his last name. I'm fresh 18. He's like, I'm going to make you the manager of my restaurant. I'm like, okay. I don't have any restaurant experience, nothing. He's like, I'm going to train you, and within 3 months, I want you to be the manager. Okay. So I started doing every single job, rotating, because a manager needs to learn every job. Within 3 months, I was the assistant manager, and they had another girl above me. I was working at that time 10 hours a day. 6 months into the job, I let one of my friends, Alex, actually, the kid who did the firecracker, borrow my car. It was at Civic. He came back at 10 o'clock at night around closing. He's like, hey, man, I got to tell you something. I'm like, what? He's like, I got your car shot up. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, man, I picked up this girl on the side of the road. I'm like, so you picked up a prostitute? Yeah. He's like, yeah, man, I just wanted to give her a ride. Like, who gives a prostitute a ride? You're not just trying to give her a ride. You're trying to...
Yeah, you're trying to get something out
of it. You're trying to get something. And he tried to get something for free because he had no money. And brought her all the way back to the house.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, where she lived. Like an idiot. Dropped her off. Her pimp, whatever, came out. Saw.
Just fucking started unloading.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So, because I was closing, it was at this Taco Bell was at the mall. So it was completely, there was no one there. I was the only person left. I'm closing up. I was already high. I grabbed a huge chef knife, and I was like, bro, I was ready to just leave the restaurant and say, screw it, bring me where this guy is. I'm gonna kill this guy. And he's like, what do you mean, bro? How are you gonna kill him? He's got a gun. I'm like, I don't care. I was tweaking. I had done, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 oxys and probably 3 Xanax bars, full Xanax bars. So I was
the Xanax probably.
I called the Xanax give 2 fucks, and because you don't, you think you're invincible.
Yeah.
And he eventually stopped me from that idea, but got fired from that job because he had hidden cameras all over the store.
Oh.
Yeah. He saw me. Yeah, he pulled me over a couple days later. He's like, so yeah, why did you pull a huge chef knife? Had no answer for him.
No.
But move forward back 21 on 21 I have all this money saved up. I'm doctor shopping like crazy. I decide, you know what? I'm going to go start playing poker. I'm going to start playing poker professionally.
Pick up a nice gambling habit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, I lived right down the street from Hollywood.
Right. Yeah, from the Hard Rock, right?
Yeah. So, right before I turned 21, my mom eventually just called me out on my shit. She's like, you're not going to college. You're not really working. She knows what I'm doing. She's like, you're living this insane lifestyle. You need to get out of my house. So, like 3 weeks before I turned 21, she kicked me out. My grandma was super sweet, super nice, also kind of enabling. She said, come live with me. So, I'm like 10 minutes from Hard Rock.
You took the free ride with grandma, even though you got all that cash?
Yeah, why would I waste the money on a place?
That's true. That's true.
Plus, I didn't have a job. How am I going to show the money and income to pay for a place?
That's true, too. Yeah.
Like, no one would have given me a place.
No.
My grandma was a real estate agent, so I was raised in that. I knew no one would approve me.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, I'll go stay over there. I mean, I was never really there. I was always hanging out with friends. Sometimes I would visit every once in a while. So yeah, I'm constantly staying at the Hard Rock. I was playing somewhat high stakes. I was sometimes playing 1,000, 2,500 stakes. Sometimes I would play 2,500, 5,000 stakes.
Just poker?
Yeah, Texas Hold'em.
Okay.
there were nights I would lose 30, 40 grand, and there were some nights I would walk away with 30, 40, 50 grand. The biggest night I think I walked away was like $78,000.
Jesus.
Yeah. And constantly, you win that kind of money, or you lose, or you spend that kind of money.
Fast money. Yeah.
Well, not even that. The hotels would comp you. They'd give you rooms.
Food.
Hey, let's stay.
All types of shit.
So I'm constantly getting wasted, going to the bathroom, popping pills. It's just 2011 was half of it I don't remember. Like, I really don't. It's kind of a blur. I know though, almost right at the end of, or no, it was the beginning, that in like 9 months, I believe I spent almost $250,000.
God
Yeah,
damn.
on partying and just craziness. Like, I went through a good chunk.
Through your cash.
I went through a good chunk, and I was still making more money. I had stacked up, I don't know. I think by the end of almost that year, I maybe had like 20 grand left.
Damn.
Yeah.
That had to have hurt.
Yeah. I don't remember the exact number. I know it was like between 20 and 30 grand. I remember looking at my money. I'm like, where did it all go? I'm like, and I thought to myself, I'm like, well, I know where it went. Yeah. But yeah, come 2012, had the biggest disappointment in my life at the time.
Okay.
Was the largest, or one of the largest FBI DEI raids in history. I think it was called Operation Blue. They shut down 212 pain clinics in the United States. I'm like, well, damn.
That's when shit went fucking south.
I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Like, my whole income stream just went by.
Not to mention your habit is about to change, I'm assuming, to heroin.
Now I was getting desperate.
Yeah.
So, didn't change the heroin yet. I was, at the time, I was still trying to do what I needed to do. I got in with a lady who, this really, really big black girl named Blondie. I don't know hopefully she's still not in the game, but whatever. She lived in Palm Beach. Girl was paranoid as all hell, but probably because she never got caught. For good reasons.
Yeah.
Had like 5 different cars, 6 different phones, constantly changed her numbers every couple months. She had an in with some pharmacists. So she was getting in from the pharmacies. And she was just constantly getting scripts every single month, multiple scripts, multiple names, fake IDs, everything.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I was getting on him. I partnered with her. And we were running it for probably the next year and a half doing that. 2024, she ended up moving away.
2014?
No, yeah, 24. I was 20. I'm sorry, I was 24. It's 2014.
Okay.
She moves away. I was like, well, now what am I gonna do?
Because now the pills
they're super hard to get.
They're dried up. They're expensive.
It's super expensive. It's $40, $50 a pill on average.
Yeah.
Even if you're buying in bulk, you're not getting it for less than $25, $30 a pill, right? And I'm like, okay, I can't afford that. Like, what am I gonna do? So my next step was, because I remember it was like a couple weeks I couldn't get anything. I was hurting. I think it was like a week and a half. I was hurting so bad.
Did you realize like you were dependent as fuck on the opiates at that point?
Yeah. So, dude, I think it was, I went to, because of my back problem, right? So I decided, you know what? I'm going to go to the hospital and say I got into an accident, fell down some stairs, went to the hospital, said I fell down some stairs. They ended up giving me a prescription for Percocets, right? 5 of them. Me being good with computers, I changed that. I uploaded all the paperwork into my computer, edited everything, gave myself a 30-day supply with 2 refills, not knowing what the laws were that no hospital will ever give that to you.
Oh.
Ever.
Fuck.
Ever. So yeah, I think I'm smart, right? I think I'm great. I bring all the paperwork and the prescription to a pharmacy, a Publix pharmacy. I'm wearing a full-fledged suit, thinking I got all the smarts, all the sense.
Sure. They're not going to think a thing of it.
No, not thinking anything of it. Yeah. I'm clean shaven. I'm just like, here you go. Pharmacist looks at it, then takes a double take. 5 minutes in, I'm like, I was
It's
watching
taking
her.
a while.
I'm waiting a while. I'm not, but well, I mean, prescriptions take on average like 10 minutes to fill, anyways. When you
Yeah.
fill out when you bring in a prescription, but I could see I was watching her. She kept looking down at it, looking at me, making a phone call, and I was like, "Hey, is everything okay?" She's like, "Yeah, everything's good," but it sounded weird. So at 15 minutes, I was like, "All right, this is getting sketch." I was like, "I'm gonna leave." So I didn't even say anything to her. As I'm walking out the door, 4 Broward County Sheriff's officers are waiting outside,
Oh.
and I'm like, I know the gist. I've been arrested multiple times as an adult, as a juvenile. I'm like, I'm not gonna run it. I'm like, I'm in a suit with some dress shoes on. These guys are ready to get. I'm like, just turn around and put my
Yeah.
hands behind my back.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
I'm like,
You're fucked.
yeah. So they ended up taking me in, charging me with prescription forgery.
That's
Um,
more serious, I assume.
yeah, yeah. It is serious. So I'm in. I don't know how much you know about Broward County court systems, but they are arguably the worst ones you can get arrested in the whole all of Florida.
I've heard that about
So,
Broward
um,
specifically.
there's something called Rock Court that's within their judiciary system. That if you end up going to Rock Court, it's not about whether you go to prison or not. It's about you're going to prison. It's about how much you're going to prison. It's about how much time you're going to get.
Really?
It's almost a guarantee.
Huh.
That's how harsh their judges are. They're crooked. They don't care. They don't half the time follow
And
state laws and sentencing laws.
and even knowing all these pill mills are getting shut down and everybody's a drug addict and there's a pill problem, they're still fucking laying the hammer down.
Because of the problem, they had extremely harsh, strict laws at the
They
time.
were being stricter. Okay.
Much stricter. So they're like, hey, we're going to the first time they were like, hey, we're going to give you 3 years prison.
God damn.
I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not taking that. Um, I got blessed on this time, by the way. Actually, I want to rewind. I want to say a few things when it comes to the blessings and how I had so many times that I could have looked back. Right. So at 19, I was doing ecstasy. Right. I had a friend, went to a party. Guy had some ecstasy, or it wasn't at a party. At my friend's house. He had some ecstasy. I was like, all right, let's try it. I tried one time. It was I don't know if you ever done ecstasy.
Yeah.
They were triple stacks.
Okay.
Right. I took one triple stack. They were Supermans.
Okay.
So I took one of those. We were in his dad's car. Loved it. To say I loved it was an understatement.
Yeah, it's a good.
To say I
it's a good
loved it
feeling.
10 times more than opiates is an understatement.
Really.
It was honestly my most favorite drug I've ever
That shit
tried.
must have been good.
It was
Must have been good.
insane. It was a red one, so it was mostly consistent of opiates, but it was also a combination of, I think it was speed
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say, I'm sure there's meth in there.
I don't remember if that one had meth, but I know there's usually 2 or 3, and then MDMA.
Yep.
So there's usually 3 drugs in it. I fell in love. It was to say the least. I escalated so quickly with that drug. Within 2 weeks, I went from 1 to 24 in one day.
Jesus.
So each day I upped it. I went from 1 to 2 to 3, 4, and
Yeah,
ecstasy.
You're not supposed to do that.
No, of course not.
'Cause
Ecstasy.
it's serotonin syndrome, right?
Yeah. So ecstasy, you know how you have the waves, right?
Yeah.
So me, I was like, I don't want the waves. I just want to stay up here. I never want to come down.
You can't do that.
I know.
Ecstasy.
I didn't drink enough water like I should. So I was constantly raving, partying, wasting weed, to say the least. I know. Remember one party, I had like a 6-foot bong back then, and a bunch of stuff. So we were partying, and I brought like 3 ounces of weed. This was like a small party, it's like 15 people, and we went through, I think, all 3 ounces in like 2 hours.
Jesus.
Yeah, and I barely even felt it because I was so hot.
Yeah. Right.
I think it was like 12 days in. I bought like 40 or 50 pills, and I was taking 2 every hour. Just like
Jesus
2 every hour for 12
Christ,
hours.
man.
Yeah. I was popping them, parachuting them. You know what parachuting is?
Yeah, but
So,
toilet paper, yeah.
Yeah. Crushing them up, parachuting. Yeah,
Yep.
that's very dangerous. Didn't drink enough water. That same night, right? That same night, uh, my dealer, the guy who's getting me the stuff, tried to rob me, right? So he came back, handing out all the pills to everyone. I said, didn't hand me any. I was like, hey, where's mine? It's like, I bought like 30 or 40 pills. He's like, I ain't got nothing for you, bro. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have anything for me? He's like, I don't have anything for you. Get lost. Okay. Went to my car, grabbed my metal bat, started beating his ass with it. Yeah, I didn't play with that shit. His friends started freaking out, and I was like, any one of you want it, I'll beat your ass too. Plain and simple. Took everything he had on him, all his cash, all the pills he had, plus whatever mine and whatever he had left, and took off.
Can't say I blame you.
No, I mean, so got high all night. Came home to my mom's house 9 a.m. It was like 8:30, 9 a.m. in the morning. Went to the bathroom. Was standing up, taking a piss, and all of a sudden my lungs stopped working. Yeah, lungs stopped working. Didn't know what was going on. I started freaking out, running out of breath. As I'm about to pass out, I grab the cup you can wash your mouth out with when you're brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
It was a ceramic one. I threw it as hard as I could. It smashed against the bathroom wall. I fall over. My mom runs in, finds me on the ground, and she's like, "What's wrong?" I couldn't even get it out of my. I can't breathe. I feel like I'm choking. Calls 911. Ambulance gets me. They got me to the hospital without dying. Pumped my stomach.
Pump your stomach.
Pumped my stomach with that charcoal shit.
Oh.
Hospital administrator comes over. It's like, obviously they saw how much I took. They're like, listen, you had enough drugs in your system to kill 5 people. Like, if I catch you in here again with anything like this, I'm gonna call the police. 'Cause normally they don't call the police on drug overdoses,
No.
right? It's like, but you were just stupid and reckless. I got high the next day. Luckily, God saved me on that one, because in reality, I had just fallen out with my dealer, so I couldn't get any more ecstasy. Luckily, so I was just went and did opiates. Next time I OD'd, 21, in the middle of all that, that crazy year in 2011. My buddy Kyle, I was dealing with, and then we were doing all that stuff with. I buy him a gun for his 21st birthday, right? I'm a felon. As a juvenile, I was a felon. Remember,
So you can't own a gun.
I can't own a gun.
Yeah.
But I can buy, which is crazy. You can buy someone else a gun.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can buy anyone a gun that's not a felon. You just can't purchase it for yourself.
Buy it for yourself.
Correct. Can't register it.
Do you know if you can get a gun if you get your shit expunged?
I can. It's not expunged.
Like, cause I got my shit sealed and expunged. I didn't know if you could get a gun after that or not.
Do you have a violent crime?
No.
See, that's why. Any violent crime you can't get expunged like that in Florida.
It's same way in
So the
Ohio.
only way I can get mine and eventually get a gun is clemency or pardon.
A pardon
by
from,
the governor.
Yeah.
So I have to wait 8 years after everything
and request
request it. Yeah. So, which I have 3 more years for that.
Okay.
So I'll eventually will do it, but it's 8 years to do, which is weird because you have to wait 8 years for your gun, but 10 years for your full rights. You would think it'd be the opposite, but it's not. I don't know. I actually just recently looked it up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's strange there. But yeah, I don't know why I skipped these whole stories. There's some good stories I skipped.
Okay.
So go back to one story. When I was 18, I was hanging out with, I told you, my Spanish friends, right? So it was Andrew, Alex, and it was what's his last name? Francesca. So we're hanging out. We're going to the theaters, right? We get into theaters, going to the concession stand. We're going to go buy some food, and we see these 4 guys. Somehow they say some shit, and we decide, okay, we go up to them. we're like, all right, let's fight, just for the heck of it. Let's just go fight. Like, all right, let's. They tell us, all right, meet us over here. So we just like meet us on the street. On this street, it's like literally 2 minutes away. All right, so we go over there, drive over there, follow them. As soon as we get out there, get out the car. It's not those 4 guys because we're doing 4-on-4. It's us 4 against them 12. So we see that. We didn't realize it at first. We're like, okay, well, this is not going to happen. So we jump back in the car. I'm still in this. Actually, I'm not in. I'm still in the Honda Civic at the time. So jump back in the car, flip the car around, take off. They're chasing us down the road. You said you're familiar with 441, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm racing down 441. I've got this car floored, right? I'm literally there. Got 3 cars behind me like a freaking movie. They're coming at us, throwing shit at our car. They have a couple of them have a bat. One has a pipe. One's throwing glass bottles at us. And I'm literally running fucking red lights. I ran 3 red lights trying to escape these guys. Jumped over the median to try and escape them. Got caught in a red light. They came up behind us. Yeah, they kind of. One opened my door. I literally put it in reverse, floored it backwards. As soon as he opened the door and he was right there, I floored it backwards. The door hit him, right? Like knocked him over, smashed into their car, went back over the median again, and eventually got away. Don't know how he didn't hit anybody. Don't know how no one died. No one got hit.
Right.
And nobody got pulled over. No idea, right?
Pure luck.
Pure luck. I'm like, I look back at that situation. I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? Right? 19. I'm tripping on shrooms with some friends. We went to this park. It's called Freedom Park. It's me, my buddy Buddha, my buddy Juan, my buddy Andrew, same Spanish guy, and his girl in the back seat. Right? So I pull into this park. As soon as we pull in. I shouldn't have gone in. It's like 10:30 at night. It's 11 o'clock at night. We just get out of the movies. Cops right there. So I didn't even park. I just made a U-turn, pull it out. Cop pulls up behind me. They don't turn his lights on yet. I make a right, come up to another light, still following me. Right as the light turns green, he turns his light on. I am tripping hard. I mean, we're on. We had all taken acid, right?
Oh, wow.
So we had taken some acid in the movie, and I took an extra one, right? Now, my buddy who gave it to us, usually you'll see on average like 2 hits per paper tab, right?
Sure.
His are 4.
Okay.
So I had taken one before the movies, and I took another one during the movies. No one else took one besides me, of course. Extra one.
Right.
So I'm tripping, and I take off. I go right. I'm thinking I'm driving like 60, 70 miles an hour, and I look down at the speedometer. I'm going 30.
You're trying to run from the police?
No, we had stuff on us, so I was trying to tell them like, hey, get rid of this stuff first before, I'm but I'm so high because I'd taken his Xanax and that, so I'm just so high I wasn't thinking straight. The cop had spotlight on us the whole time. I'm going 30, 35 miles an hour.
Yeah.
He's like probably just thinking like these guys are idiots. So I made a U-turn and then eventually pulled over. They had thrown all the stuff out on the grass. The guy comes up to us, pulls us out. He had us all sitting out on the side of the road at like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. We waited for 3 other cops to come. It's 3 white cops, 1 black cop. And it was funny because they were playing good cop, bad cop. The 3 white cops were laughing their butts off. This black cop was like from, Super Troopers. And
oh yeah,
and he's just like this tough mentality. Like, we're taking them all to jail again. At that time, I was 17 at that time. Sorry, not 18. I was 17. My friend Andrew was 17. My buddy Juan and Buddha were 18. They said, "Hey, you two, you guys can go." Their house was right down the street, like their neighborhood was right there. They're like, "Hey, walk home." You two called your parents. They called my buddy Andrew's parents. Me, they called my mom. This was actually after about an hour of us searching for all the stuff we got rid of, by the way. They called my mom. I was the last person. They're like, hey, Miss Shaw, we have your son here, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, what do you want us to do with him? She's like, keep him. I don't want him.
They're like, you were going to say that.
They're like, you sure? She's like, yeah, I don't want him. And they're talking and talking. I start hysterically laughing. Like, to me, the cops look like clowns. I was hysterically laughing. And they just were looking at me like, what in the world is wrong with this guy? And like the three white cops were just laughing their ass off at me. Black cop's like, oh, you think this is funny? Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to take you to jail. Three cops are like, no, let's just let him go. He's having a bad night. And they're just going back and forth and back and forth. My mom's telling him to keep me. Eventually, she's like, you know what? Let him come home. I'm like, okay. They're like, all right, we're going to let you go home. They gave me a written arrest. So they're like, we're going to follow you for a second. So they follow me down Forest Hill Boulevard to 441. They take off. They go north. I'm about to turn left. Go south. Acid must have kicked in overdrive. Okay. The sky and the floor flipped. And for me, it was like, I don't even barely remember even getting home.
Driving.
Yeah. I remember pulling into my mom's driveway and I looked around and I'm like, how the hell did I get here? And I actually was really scared. I was freaked out because I'm like, I don't remember getting home at all. I'm like, did I hit somebody? Did I kill somebody?
Right. You don't know what happened.
I didn't know what happened. And I'm like, okay, my mom's waiting up. I walk up to the door. She is asking like, what's going on? I was like, please don't talk to me right now. We can talk in the morning. I ended up tripping like most of the night. Like I couldn't even really go to sleep.
Yeah.
I was so worried. And found out, luckily enough, I checked the car out. Nothing was wrong with it. But I didn't really do much ecstasy. I mean, ecstasy, but acid again. I didn't do any hallucinogens for 2 more years till I turned 20. Until I'll tell you another story coming up. But 19. I'm sorry, no, so 20. I'll tell you that right now. I took DMT.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's one of the only drugs I've never done.
So, you know that DMT...
It's death, right? It's the chemical that's released in your brain when you die, right?
Well, it's partly, but that's not the only time.
Really?
Your body releases DMT every time you dream.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's how you dream.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how you dream.
Huh.
Most people dream because of your body. It's dimethyltryptamine is the drug.
I didn't know that.
That's the chemical. And the only, from what I know, I mean, I think they back then when I did research, the only way you can get it was either from a human brain or frogs, right? Certain frogs could do it. Now I guess they have some plants or so they have synthetic versions. I don't know what the case is, but back then it was extremely hard to get and extremely expensive. I remember when I took it, the guy warned me. He's like, "Listen, you're going to be on a bed. You're going to sit up. You're going to put your head back. You're going to take a couple drops, and you're going to be out like that." And I did. I was out immediately. I felt like I was tripping for like 8 to 10 hours, and in reality, I was out 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the same thing when you dream, your REM sleep when you're dreaming is only 30 minutes on average, but people really think they're dreaming all night long, but they're not.
Right.
It's the same distance, same thing. And it was basically a memory of me being in that juvenile program. My whole thing was I was floating through the building late at night, pitch black, nobody was around, and I'm floating like near the ceiling and just going through it. And it was just spooky and eerie why I was doing that. And I did it for hours. And then all of a sudden it was morning, and then everyone started coming out. And nobody could see me. No one could hear me. And everybody was just going out their normal day. It was very eerily. Because before that, I actually went into the room and I could see myself as a child.
That's so weird.
It was a crazy out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
And then I woke up to me falling. And I never did it again because I never can get a hold of it again. But it was a crazy experience.
I'm sure it was.
Now I had a friend who just did a trip in Ibogaine. He went to
Oh,
Mexico,
okay, yeah.
and he said that was absolutely insane. And I thought DMT was supposed to be the most intense.
Ibogaine fucks your stomach up really bad, doesn't it? You just
He
throw up a
said it,
lot.
yeah, but you can trip for 10, 12 hours.
Yeah,
It's
and I've heard rumblings that it helps with addiction too.
That's what he
And
went for,
yeah,
right? And he's sober now. So I mean, but it's a different form. It
yeah,
doesn't mean that you could take something like that and be completely
you're just
cured.
good,
Yeah, no,
right?
it's not like that. But it's definitely helped him out. Um, so back to my story with Kyle, right? Kyle, these three stories happened all within I think like 8 weeks of each other, right? So I buy him a gun for his birthday when he turned 21. Um, we go party at this hotel. I think it was a Hilton Hotel right off the turnpike off Lake Worth Road. Get a room. We're both already high when we get there. I don't remember what time it was. It was in the afternoon. We're going up. As soon as we're about to go into the room, there is a dolly with a laptop just sitting on it. He looks at it. He's like, I'm going to take it. I'm looking at him like, are you stupid? Why would you take the damn laptop? There's cameras out here.
Yeah,
He's like, no, there's not. I'm like, I'm looking around. I'm like, just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're not there. And he took it, of course. And didn't think anything of it. I was high. I didn't care. I just wanted to continue getting high. So I had a script of Oxy, I had a script of Xanax, and I had a script of Methadone. Get high all night.
we had the wafers, method and
Yeah,
wafers.
yeah. So we get high all night. Wake up in the morning. It was like probably 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I come out. Guy across the way was outside. And I was like, good morning. Say, hey, good morning. He's like, hey, did you see a card out here with a laptop last night? I'm like, no. He's like, why? What's wrong? He's like, yeah, someone stole it. I'm like, oh man, that's horrible. What's going on? He's like, yeah, we had to call the sheriffs. They're here now reviewing the cameras. I'm like, oh, that's good. So you're gonna find it? He's like, yeah, we'll find it. It's just I hope it's not damaged. Blah blah blah. I said my piece, whatever. So I go downstairs. I'm like thinking, let me go check this out. Go downstairs. Sheriff's car in the front. By where the elevators come down is also the back door. Sheriff's officer, right there.
Oh boy.
And I'm looking both hallways. Sheriff's officer on that end, and then the other end is just a service hall. You can't go out. I'm like, so we're screwed. Go back up the elevator. Go in the room. I kick him awake. I was like, hey, dumbass, we're about to get arrested because you stole this stupid fucking laptop. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, explain the situation to him. I was like, I'm grabbing my stuff. I'm getting out of here. I don't know about you, but you better come down. I'm going down. Meet me down at the bottom of the elevators. Go down the elevators. I wait 3 minutes. Doesn't come down. Stupid enough to go back in the elevators. Go back up. I literally peek around the corner. He's in handcuffs on the ground outside the door.
Damn.
Yeah. So I don't know if I just missed the officers going upstairs.
Right.
In the elevator, because there's 2 elevators in that.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at him. He turns his head, sees me, and he looks at me like he wants me to help him. I'm like, I don't know what you want, but you're screwed. You're done.
Yeah. What do you want me to do?
And I said, bye. And went down the elevator, looked out the back. The officer looked like he was distracted. I looked around, didn't see any officers around. I booked it. So I took off. Officer gets out the car, starts chasing me. Where we're at, probably maybe 1,000 feet, there's woods. So I make it into the woods. I was a pretty fast runner. I ran track when I was in middle school and high school.
Okay.
So I was pretty confident, even though I was doing drugs, that I could run at least a short distance.
Yeah.
So I took off. I had a backpack on, copped it over a fence, kept going. I made it all the way to one of our friends' house. His name was Mike, and it was about a 15-minute run, jog. He lived in a neighborhood like right down the street. So I made it to his house, got in there, told him the situation. They actually let Kyle go. I don't know why, but they gave him a written arrest for possession and theft. It was his first time ever getting arrested, ever getting in trouble ever.
Felony theft?
Yes. So First time, like he had never been in trouble with the law ever, and he was 21. So I guess they gave him a deal, whatever, which is surprising. I was shocked they didn't actually take him to county, especially for the possession.
Yeah.
But they let him go. The only thing that was left was the methadone. So he had methadone. I guess he had told him he had a problem and he was getting off of it. So they let him go. I guess they were being nice. Either way, it was like 4 hours later. I eventually picked him up, and that was that. I think it was four weeks later after that. We hung out another hotel, right? Same instance in respects. Sorry, backtrack. Obviously, he just got arrested with a felony, but he had also just got a gun for his birthday a couple weeks prior. So, officers showed up to our property, right? Said, "Hey, we see that you just got arrested you just got arrested, even though you're not convicted. You got arrested. Per law, we have to confiscate, the gun,
The firearm.
until things are settled, right? We'll hold it in the sheriff's station, and if you don't get convicted, you can get it back." So the officers decided, hey, they didn't even take the gun. They just took the clip. They took the clip and all the bullets. They left him with the actual gun. It's dumb.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
There's a reason why I'm telling you this, but 4 weeks later, we're at another hotel, not even that far down the street. We're partying. We brought people over. We brought over some prostitutes. Because he wanted some. I'm like, you know what? This is not a smart idea, bro. It's like you keep making dumb decisions, bringing people over to hotels. This isn't the kind of hotel for that, for one. If you're going to go do that, go to a casino or something where that happens all the time,
Right.
and no one's going to do anything about
Right.
it. You're going to go to a standard, regular hotel where you're partying your butt off, and you're going to bring people who are going to be rowdy. You're going to get the cops called. So I was like, all right, bro, I'm going to leave if you're going to do this. So I leave, go back to our friend Mike's house. He calls me, got arrested again. He calls me from county this time.
Oh.
Yeah, he got arrested, he got to county. And I'm like, bro, I don't know what you expected. I told you what was going to happen, right? Like, you don't listen. He's freaking out. Never been in trouble. I'm like, bro, for one, if you stop doing what you're doing and actually listen to someone who's gone through the law more times than I can care to
Been through
count,
the system, yeah.
I can tell you what's going to happen, and you can stop freaking out. So he gets out. His parents kick him out. So I was like, all right, I had to convince my mom to let him come live with us. So we're living we got another bed. He's living in the same room with us. We go to our friend's house where we're partying, we're hanging out, and at Mike's house, right? There was this girl that I had dated for a short period of time previously, right? She shows up, started dating Mike, right? It was crazy because I got kicked out of my grandmother's house at that point, and so I'm staying with them. It was strange because she's staying with him. We're hanging out, partying at their house. She starts to OD. One of the guys who were with us, who was getting high with us, was an EMT, right?
Oh, wow.
Doesn't do anything to help her. She's just sitting there ODing. I'm like, bro, do something about this. You're a freaking EMT. This is what you do. He's just looking at her like, yeah, I'm not touching her. I'm going to lose my license. I'm like, she's dying. Are you fucking stupid? And he's just like, yeah. So I went over there. Luckily, we had some Narcan. We found some in the cabinet. Gave her some Narcan. Called an ambulance. Most of the time, they're not calling the cops. I mean, they're just gonna come grab her and
Unless they know you or
yeah,
something. Yeah,
they just want to save the life.
Yeah.
So called an ambulance. They came and grabbed her. One of his buddies, who was another EMT, looked at him like, what's going on? And I told his buddy what happened, and he just looked at him like, you're an idiot. I know right after that, Kyle was so worried about getting in trouble with the law, right? So I went down to my grandmother's house, right? I'm hanging out. I was there for a few days to let things cool down. He was at my mom's house. They were telling him that he could possibly go to jail for some time. And this guy can't deal with the law. He can't deal with it. He doesn't have that experience. He
Right.
doesn't know how to. He could not deal with going to prison
Right.
or dealing with county for a year, right? So he's freaking out. Um, I texted him one day. I was like, "Hey man, are we gonna hang out tomorrow?" He's like, "Yeah, we'll hang out tomorrow." That day comes. I text him. It's like 1 or 2 o'clock. I'm like, "Hey, I'm about to come down. Um, you want to hang out?" He's like, "No, man, I'm not doing well today. Let's go hang out, tomorrow." And I was like, "All right, that's fine. We'll hang out tomorrow." I text him again the next day, no response. I was like, "All right, maybe he's just doing it. I leave it alone. Maybe he's things he's got going on." And 2 days go by, I don't hear anything from him. So I was like, okay. So I just drive up to. I'm in from Fort Lauderdale. I drive up to West Palm. Um, I'm down the street. He still doesn't answer. And I call my mom. I'm like, "Hey, Ma, I'm coming in the neighborhood. I'm coming to see Kyle." So she's waiting for me outside, right? Um, right in front of the house. She's like, "Hey, come here for a second." I'm like, "Okay, what's up?" She's like, "Come take a walk with me." I'm like, I find that very curious. My mom has never done that before.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Keep walking." I'm like, "No, stop. Tell me what's going on." She looks at me. She's like, "Kyle's dead." I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean Kyle's dead?" I'm like, "It can't be true. Stop playing with me. Like you're playing a prank on me." She's like,
Right.
"No, Kyle's dead." I'm like, "What happened?" She's like, "He killed himself."
Holy shit.
Yeah. Um, I lost it. I completely lost it. Started bawling. She, I thought and it was crazy because as I was coming in the neighborhood, I have to pass by his parents' house, and there was a bunch of cars at his parents' house. I didn't think anything of it because his parents were really cool. Sometimes they'll throw parties. Um, Little did I find out that was his wake. Right? I didn't
Damn.
even know, but it clicked for me at that moment. I basically started taking off to go run to his parents' house. I had this in my head that I had to go apologize to his parents because it was my fault. I bought him the gun. It was my fault he was dead, right? And my mom just was begging me. It's like, "Hey, you can't go there, right? You can't. Like that, they don't want you there, right? They're the last person right now, especially. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's your fault, but you're not someone they want to see,
Right.
you know." Um, Now, from the time I was a juvenile, what I didn't tell you earlier was I had probably had the sheriff's office called on me in a matter of 4 years, probably 150 times. So the sheriff's office knew me.
They know who you are.
They knew me very well, right? And one of the old sergeants who used to do the calls on me, uh, originally, when my mom called it in, because my mom found him, right? He blew his brains out when my mom was out shopping. So that day
Jesus.
he told me, "Hey, I don't want to hang out." It's the day he killed himself, right? The first day. He had taken about 10 Xanax bars and about 15, 20 Percocets, um, and didn't even kill himself right. That's why when I told you earlier they didn't take the gun away from him and they only took the clip. They
Yeah.
also forgot the bullet in the chamber.
Uh,
Yeah,
so
they didn't
there's
clear it.
one left in the chamber.
One left. He was so high that when he did it, he put it in his mouth. It was at an angle and it came out the side of his head, and he lived for they said the what's it called? The coroner said he lived for a good hour after. So
Damn.
yeah, um, yeah. So my mom had to come home, see the door locked. She had to break it down and find all his brain matter over the wall.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
yeah, yeah. So by that time, it was 3 days later. They had special teams come clean the whole house out and everything and things like that. And I know when she told me when she called 911 that time, one of the sergeants who was just in the area thought it was me and rushed over out of his patrol just to see if it was me or not. And she called that same sergeant because he had given her his card that day when Kyle killed himself and said, "If you need me anything," and she called him. He came all the way down there. And, I'm still trying to go to Kyle's house, and he came up and talked to me. He's like, "Listen, you're not going to his house. If you go to his house, I'm gonna take you to. I'm gonna arrest you for whatever reason I feel like, bring you to county jail and make you sit in county jail for the next few days, you know, just so you can cool off. So what I did was much worse. I actually wish he would have done that. I got my friend B-Law and my friend Goods. We went and picked up a lot of drugs. We went and picked up 100, over 100, almost 180 Oxy 30s. Picked up another whole script of like 120 Xanax bars. I picked up a handle. We partied for a little bit. I went back to my grandmother's house. My grandmother was not home. I literally barricaded the door with a dresser. I took 60 Oxy 30s, 30 Xanax bars, and drank about a half of a handle, a gallon of tequila.
Trying to off yourself.
I didn't care what happened. About 4 days later.
Was the intention there to
Yeah,
off
I just didn't
yourself?
care about life. So if I died, I died.
Okay.
Right? 4 days later, the cops broke down the door. I was in a coma, a drug-induced coma. They brought me to the hospital, and I stayed in there for another day and a half, 2 days before I woke up. The hospital doctors have no idea how I lived. Like,
Wow.
at all. No idea. They're like, you're a walking fucking miracle.
Yeah.
Right.
Should be gone.
Yeah. They're like, they chalked it up to the extensive years of taking, because during 2011, I was on a habit of anywhere from 10 to 20 oxys a day. Every
God,
single day.
So much.
Right? So my body had already built up an insane tolerance. I would wake up, right? I would wake up, pop 2 oxys, pop 2 Xanax just to feel normal. That was just my morning ritual, just to feel equal.
Just to level out.
Yeah. Right? So they're chopping that up to, hey, you have an insane tolerance. It's the only reason that saved you. That's it.
Damn.
Again, went downhill from here, right? Got real desperate. DEA next year came in, shut down all the shops. Was hit and miss with Blondie. 2024, everything was lost. Started. I did the forgery of prescription, right? So now I'm sitting in county for 2 months in Broward County. County's like, hey, we're gonna sentence you to 3.5 years prison. I told them to pretty much fuck themselves. Somehow I didn't get a regular public defender. I got a
pro bono.
I got a special public defender who normally only handles high end cases like murder, things like that.
Okay.
But because everyone was overloaded, I just got it magically on his case, right? It was just I was thrown on his case because it was everyone was full. He came back to me after 2 times and said, hey, we can get you 2.5 years probation. Now, I had been sitting in county for, I think it was like 70 something days. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, sure. Whatever I can do to get out of here.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah. 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I was stupid because I'd been on probation probably 5-6 times already in my life. And I think it was 5 times already in my life. I knew better. I should have known better than to take probation. I'm thinking I can just hide out at the house, not go out, not do anything, and deal with it. I didn't make it 6 months. Right? 6 months. I'm 25 years old. I'm still dealing drugs, right? Luckily, my probation officer hadn't drug tested me. Drug tested me like right when I first got out, like a month and a half, and this has been like 4.5 months, and he hadn't drug tested me yet. I'm getting high. I didn't care. I was with a buddy of mine, Chris, who I was dealing with. This guy at that time was about 6'3", about 280 pounds. I'm about 140 pounds soaking wet, right? This is May 10th, 2015, Mother's Day. At my mom's house. My mom's banging on the door. It's like 9:30 in the morning. She's like, hey, your friend's got to get out. This is my day. None of this should be happening right now. Me and him ended up getting into a fight over what we had left. As you can tell, like I said, I told you our weights. Fight didn't go my way, right? I'm blasted. He's beating my ass. I black out. And I took a knife and put it to his throat. I basically this is what he told me later down the road. He said I told him if I do that again, if you do that again, I will kill you. And apparently he freaked out. Um, he twisted to try and escape, and I cut his throat. Yeah, I cut him from here all the way to here.
Damn. Gave him the old Joker.
Yep. Um, so little to say, he's bleeding everywhere. I'm then just like shocked, disbelief. I'm like looking at him with almost like a dead face. I'm like, oh shit, this is about to be really bad. Because that's like when I kind of got consciousness. I was like, oh damn, what did I just do?
Right.
So I went, grabbed a towel, put it on his neck. I called 911 myself because I had two choices right then. I had a step one moment, as some people say. I can either run, and I've already dealing with the law my whole life. I already know what was going to happen with that.
Yep.
You know, if I run, especially if this guy dies, I'm gonna be on the run for the rest of my life. And I'm an addict. I'm not gonna make it far.
Right.
I'm gonna get caught easily within
Yep.
the first 6 months, probably.
Yep.
And then it's just gonna show, hey, he's 100% guilty. You ran, or I can just sit here and face the music. So I called 911, told him what happened. Of course, I lied. You know, I said it was an accident.
Sure.
Um, and I asked him to corroborate my story, and he was obviously scared for his life, so he did at first, or he said he was going to. Cops got there. We're running outside. He gets up. Luckily, it wasn't as deep as we thought it was, but he gets there. He's still gushing blood out. We find out didn't hit a carotid artery or anything like that. He runs outside screaming, "He's trying to kill me! He's trying to kill me!" And my face just drains. I'm like, fuck, I'm screwed.
Yep.
Yeah. So they tackle me. About 20 cop cars show up that day.
Jesus.
Yeah. I'm in the cop car for about almost 3 hours downstairs. They take us both to the same hospital, St. Mary's, in northern Palm Beach. They basically, I gave them a story of kind of what happened. And at the time when we were fighting, my mom had tried to interject, and she got knocked over during the fight. So basically, when they arrested me, they originally arrested me with attempted first-degree murder with a deadly weapon, battery on an elderly, violation of probation. I think there was possession too. So I'm just thinking,
You're going to prison.
yeah.
Yeah. Gotta be.
You know, actually, it's funny. Before I continue with this, even crazier, almost just as crazy. There was a story with Kyle, which I forgot to tell you. A week before he killed himself, we're in the woods in my mom's neighborhood. I remember I told you she kicked me out before I was turned 21.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in my mom's neighborhood. We're camping out in this little area, and 8 o'clock in the morning. I always wake up early, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, because who sleeps in on opiates? I get up, I get high, in the woods are behind this house that no one lives in. Someone had committed some fire fraud. They'd put their house on fire on purpose to get insurance fraud.
Yeah.
No one lived there. It had already been built. And I'm sitting there with some shorts, flip-flops, and a T-shirt, charging my laptop. There was a white van in the driveway, right? Guy comes out from the back. This white guy, he looks at me. He's like, "What are you doing?" "I'm charging my laptop," I said. I'm like, "Okay." He goes in the van, comes back out, pulls out a .38 snub-nose revolver on me. I'm looking at him like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "There was a robbery from Bank of America down the street." He's like, "I think you did it." What? I look down at myself, I look at him, and I'm like, "Are you freaking stupid? Does it look like I just robbed a bank to you?" I'm like, "I got flip-flops, T-shirt, and shorts on with a laptop. You think I would be hanging out a quarter mile down the street from a bank robbery? All I have is a laptop case." And I didn't even think, because I should have thought, you don't make sudden movements when someone has a gun pointed at you. I snatched my bag, opened it up, and I'm like, "Where's the money, bro?" What? He's like, "I don't care. You stash it somewhere." So he calls the cops. What do you think happens? About 15 cop cars come. lieutenants, sergeants, SWAT. I mean, the whole 9 yards. At all the meantime, this guy's got a revolver, a stun revolver pointed at me. They're pointing the guns at him, telling him to get down. I'm already on the ground. I literally just hit the ground face down. I'm yelling, shoot him. They're telling me to shut up. They put him in handcuffs. I play the victim. Like an idiot. But yeah, they ended up searching me. I had a script of Oxy, script of Xanax. My buddy's still camping in the woods. When they searched the bag, they saw it. It had my name on it because I was doing the doctor shops. But you know what they caught me on, and I didn't know this was a law, was that there's 2 different manufactured style pills. So I didn't know it's not a law. So I said, hey, those are for my old prescription. I had some left over, and I put them in this new bottle. Yeah. Said, can't do that. It's illegal. They charged me with 2 counts of trafficking of benzodiazepine and opiates. So this dumbass Kyle walks right out. I'm talking there's the woods, and then there's about a 300-yard open field to where we are before you can see the cops. There's all these cops. You can easily see all the cops from the woods, and say, hey, I shouldn't go out there. I'm gonna go. His parents' house is literally down the street. He says, I can go around these houses and go home. But no, he walks right out, gets arrested with me. Yeah. So I'm facing county the next day. I'm thinking at night, I'm like, I got charged with 2 counts of trafficking. I'm like, I'm going to prison.
Yeah.
I knew I was. I for sure I thought I was going to prison. He's like, oh, I'm going to go to jail too. I'm like, dude, you're not going to jail. They're going to let you go tomorrow. They're going to OR you, SOR you, whatever. Next day, they SOR him. Next day, I go up behind them. They're like, "All right, Mr. Shaw, you're released."
Wow.
I'm standing there in shock, and I look at my public defender. I swear, I'm paranoid. I think it's a trap. And I look at the public defender. I was like, "What is going on?" Like, you need to, and she's like, "You need to go. You're released." I'm like, "No, I'm not going anywhere until someone explained to me what's going on." Apparently, public defender actually was a decent lawyer, and caught what's called fruit of the poisonous tree. You know what that is? Mm-hmm. Fruit of the poisonous tree is an illegal search and seizure. So since the guy called the cops and they were there for a robbery and not for drugs, anything they found not coinciding with the robbery cannot be used against
null and void.
So they had to throw it away. So all they had to drop the charges.
Damn. Good lucky as fuck again.
Yeah. I mean, at that time, I think Florida was facing 10 years minimum mandatory for trafficking.
Jesus.
So got scot-free on that. So now fast forward back to this. I'm in county. First appearance the next day. I go in front of the judge. Prosecutor's coming out describing my charges. Like, yeah, Mr. Shaw's being charged with first-degree murder. I literally about pass out in the courtroom.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm looking at him. I'm like, what do you mean first-degree murder? They're like, sir, you have to be quiet until it's fully done. I'm like, did he die? And that's what I'm thinking. And they're like, oh, and they recanted. Like, oh, I'm sorry, it's attempted first-degree murder. And so they charged me with attempted first-degree murder, battery, blah, blah, blah. So I'm freaking out. They postpone it. My public defender comes and sees me 2 weeks later. She's like, hey, based on the evidence, they want to give you a plea deal of 35 years. I said, that's a plea deal? I'm 25. I'm like, I'm going to be 60. Like, that's not a plea deal.
No.
Like, I'm not taking that. And I'm like, and then I got smart because I was angry. I was like, I got a smart ass attitude. I was like, don't come back to me with a deal that's 5 years or 5 years or over. So if it's not 5 years or less, don't come back. And she laughed at me.
Nobody in their right mind is going to take 35 on the first go.
Well, no, of course not. But she laughed at me thinking I'm going to only get 5 because that's right. So 3 months later, she comes back. Hey, I got another deal for you. It's 30 years. I'm like, it's no different than the last one.
Yeah, it's still, I'm an old man when I get out.
Yeah. So 2 more months later, she comes back. She's like, all right, I got another deal. 25 years. I'm like, still, it's too much. I'm not taking that. 1 more year. I mean, like a month and a half later, she comes back to me. She's like, all right, this is your final deal. It's 20 years or done. And I said no. So this is 9.5 months in county.
So are you ready to take this thing to trial?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't know anything about the law. I'm stupid. I'm ignorant of the law,
Right.
like most people are. And
Because they will stroke your ass if you lose in
oh yeah,
trial.
life sentence easily.
Yeah, they'll stroke your ass.
So, I forgot I was not facing one life sentence. I was facing two because I had a attempted first degree murder with a deadly weapon, but I also had a capital witness tampering. Yeah, they got me with a witness tampering for trying to tell him to change his story. So they charged me with a capital version, which means it's a punishable up to 40 years in prison to death in prison.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, even though I think they did that illegally, but either way, I don't think they're supposed to have charged me with a capital version. But, what do I know? So a man who was in county with us, I'll never forget this guy's name. His name is Nicholas Agathias. Right. He came up to me. He's always super quiet at the place. Right. He's like, "Hey, I've been watching you for 9 months, and I have to say, you are an idiot." And I look at him like, "What do you mean? What, do you want to fight?" He's like, "No, I'm saying you're acting like an idiot, thinking that you're just gonna get your way with the courts. Like you're just gonna be able to tell them what you want, and they're gonna do what you want."
Right.
And I'm like, "Okay, you're right. I'm probably not gonna do what I want, but I'm not just gonna sit there and take 25 years."
Right.
He's like, "No one said that, but you need to educate yourself." He's like, "If you don't educate yourself, they're going to slam the book at you and then you're never going to see daylight again." And this guy had gotten actually falsely charged with first degree murder. He never did it. Some detectives falsely planted evidence against him because he was a big time drug dealer. So they wanted to get him no matter what. And he proved it and got his charges reversed.
Wow.
Yeah, he proved it. He had been locked up 11 and a half years at that time. He was in prison for 6.5, almost 7 years. He found evidence proving that the detectives falsely planted evidence against him and got it appealed and won and was still facing they just kept pushing his court date back to try and charge him, find something on him. But this guy took the time out of his day, said, "Hey, I'm going to educate you. Or you want to listen." So he did. Again, a few weeks later, one of the guys in there says, "Hey, do you want to pray with me?" I'm like, "Sure, can't hurt, right?" Started praying. This whole time I had been in county, my mom had not talked to me whatsoever, right? I was reading, crazy things, like she just didn't want to talk to me. My grandma was the only one talking to me. So like 3 weeks later, she decided she wanted to talk to me. Talks to me. 2 weeks later, she got me a private attorney. So this whole time during this event, the public defender had not done depositions at all, which is crazy because normally you're supposed to do depositions within 2 months, right?
Yeah.
So that the public defender had pretty much written me off as a bargaining chip, right? She wasn't going to do her due diligence to try and help me. She was just trying to get a plea deal so the prosecutor could put me away on their record.
Right.
That's what they do. They trade people.
Right.
So private attorney comes in, does depositions. My victim can't remember anything, pretty much. Even admitted that he didn't think I tried to kill him. Whole case just changed. Now I had a plea deal of 8.5 years.
Okay, we're getting there.
Yeah, 8.5 years. I looked at him, I'm like, that's a hell of a lot better than what we were getting before. It's like, do you think I should take it? Or do you think you can get better? He's like, I think I can get better. Now, mind you, I was on a violation of probation in Broward County, right?
Yeah.
The judge, I don't know if you remember the school shooting that happened in Broward County in Parkland, the Parkland shooter.
Yeah.
That judge who convicted him was my judge, that woman.
Oh, really?
That was my judge. She was harsh. She comes from a family of billionaires. Her dad's a billionaire, right?
That'll do it.
I remember the day that she sentenced me to my probation. She's like, "If I see you in my courtroom again, I'm gonna sentence you to the harshest crime, the harshest penalty." Right? I'm like, didn't think anything of it. Right? My attorney said the key is not necessarily what's in Palm Beach; it's what's in Broward. It's like, whatever I get for you in Broward, whatever I negotiate with you, because he was a prosecutor with her for 10 years prior to her becoming a judge. He's like, whatever I negotiate with her, you better take it. because you will not get a second chance. Because if you go for her, when you violate probation, you don't go in front of a jury, you go in front of a judge for trial.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever that person she gives you is it.
Yep.
It's like she will slam you.
She reinstated or send you to prison.
Yeah, she's like, she'll give you the 20 years. He comes back, long story short, gives me 6 years. I sign it. Palm Beach did the same. So, basically, ended up serving 5 years, 2 months in prison. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
How was prison?
Not fun.
No.
To say the least, I got sober in prison. So, I was actually clean and sober in county the whole time. I was in county 12 and a half months. Did not touch anything. I was more worried about spending the rest of my life in prison at the time. But literally 3 days into getting into prison, I get high. Right? So, I'm there. I get, you know what Tunchi is?
Yeah.
So I get someone size to give me some, and I'm like, all right, I buy some and roll it up, try it.
You turn into a fucking.
No, I didn't turn it. It wasn't that kind. I guess it wasn't sprayed in that respect, but
okay.
it was more like a mild, like a mix between weed and Xanax, right?
Okay.
So, I'm sitting there in this prison in Miami, and this is one of the administrative prisons where they intake you, right? No air conditioning, because most prisons in Florida don't have any air conditioning.
Really?
Yeah, no air conditioning.
Nice.
Middle of summer, hot as balls. It's like 100 degrees in there. High, sitting on this bench, right in front of the guard station. I'd already got high in the room, but I'm high, sitting in this bench in this guard station, just thinking to myself, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I just got the biggest blessing of my life. I survived multiple overdoses and could have just got away with not spending a life sentence in prison, and I'm sitting here getting high again. Like, I just haven't learned. Can't stop. Haven't learned my lesson. That was the last time I got high.
That day in prison?
That day. I've not gotten high since. Not 10.
How
one drink.
How long do you have?
July 16th this year, I'll have 10 years.
Okay.
So coming on
July 3rd, I'll have 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So we're close.
Yeah.
We're really close.
Literally a week and a half
July
away.
3rd, 2016.
Yeah, I'm July 16th, 2016.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's wild.
Damn. Yeah. So I made a pact with myself that I just wouldn't do it. I went into the drug program thing there. Started leading classes, teaching, and I would just constantly from that point forward watch as people overdose and get high, and I would watch people get pulled out on stretchers, just consistently getting high and dying, and I'm just like, why did I do that? Why did I let myself get into that situation, right? Right, and there are things I hadn't even talked about because running so long. Like, I've had shootouts with other drug dealers, and it's put myself into crazy situations, day in and day out, for what? What did I get out of it?
I mean, well, you had $200,000 at one point,
right? And I have nothing to show for it.
And you got nothing. Yeah, nothing to show for it.
I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars in dealing drugs. If I would have put a tenth of that away into stocks and investments,
you'd be set.
I'd be a multimillionaire by now.
Yeah, you'd be set.
Because I invest heavily. I'm very good at with investing.
Yeah.
I made my mom almost $1 million in investing, right?
Damn.
But and she didn't invest nearly what I would have invested, even a fraction I could have. I look back and I'm like, how stupid, how much money I wasted. I probably spent easily $1 million or more on drugs and alcohol and just stupidity and partying over the years.
What would you tell somebody that's still out there sick and struggling?
I'm saying
your
that
advice be?
That there is easily another life, man, because I have a life that's insane that I never thought I was gonna have. Like, I was in prison getting ready to go to work release, right? what they call up here, same thing as halfway, right?
Yeah.
They call it work release there.
Okay.
So you go into like a halfway house and you wear regular clothes. I had an ankle monitor. I get to go to work. I'm getting ready to do this, and I'm thinking I'm gonna be lucky to get a job making like $10 an hour,
Right.
right? I'll be lucky. And I get out, and not even 2 weeks in, I get the sales job. I'm still at the same job today as when I got out.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
same job. I got out in June of 2020. Still at the same job. I'm a branch manager for that company. I make a really good living. Some years I'm in the top 1%
Damn.
of the United States, right? Um, and in some years I'm not. I mean, I'm a straight commission, so some years I don't make as much.
Right.
But even on my bad years, I'm still usually in the top 10 or 15%. That's
great.
nothing. That's nothing to
It's really,
feel bad about.
No, it's
you know?
really, really good.
And I would not have any of this if I wasn't sober, right? People don't understand how many people are in sobriety, right? Who are in programs. The this life addiction has no it doesn't discriminate against anybody. It attacks everyone equally. Straight, gay, lesbian, whatever you are, rich, poor, it goes after everybody,
Yep.
old, young. And to say that, I've met so many crazy wealthy businessmen in the rooms
Oh,
and
yeah.
in there
Oh, yeah.
that are genuinely willing to help anybody out there, especially if you're trying to do better.
Yeah.
I've watched so many people raise their hand in a meeting. Hey man, I'm down and out. I lost my job. I'm about to be homeless. Can someone help me out? And almost immediately within a few days they have a job and they're fine.
Yeah.
Or they have a place to stay.
Yep.
All is not lost. There are so many people who are willing to help people out, and even today, like, it's all about giving back, right? That's the whole point of the program and the point about being in sobriety. People help you out, you help people out, right?
No, that's how you stay sober. It's the best defense against alcohol that there is.
Right.
Is to help another alcoholic.
And it's funny, like, NA didn't work for me, right? I went to NA for years, didn't work for me.
Didn't work for me either.
I had to go to AA, which is weird, for someone who was...
I was shooting dope and shit and
Yeah.
crack and heroin and the whole nine, and I chose AA too.
Yeah. So, and I've met such crazy, amazing people, and I've been in meetings all over the country, right? I even went into a meeting over in Israel.
Really?
I was shocked to find one there, but I did. But they're everywhere. It doesn't discriminate. There's alcoholics, and this program is everywhere, right? And like, what are you ashamed of? You look at what we've done,
Right.
right? Now you want to be ashamed? Like, we didn't care what we were doing. People were robbing people, selling your ass, whatever you were doing out there. People were doing crazy stuff, but you can't ask for help, right?
Yep.
Like,
well, that pride and ego, or that guilt and the shame gets in the way.
that's one of the biggest stoppers, right?
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And when you forget about that, so many doors open.
Everything changes.
Everything changes, right? Now, because me and Catherine lived this life. Now we're giving back. We give back whenever we can, and sometimes it could be small. It could be giving a ride to somebody. It could be making coffee. It could be whatever, just lending an ear.
Yep.
And it could be bigger when you have more, you can give more.
Right.
Right. Me and Kat are trying to start this this soup kitchen, with some wealthy people like in Cleveland, that's going to start a permanent soup kitchen every month for people who are impoverished and homeless and people who are can't get off of drugs and alcohol. Right? We're going to try and give them food, clothing, and make sure they have places to stay.
That's cool.
Right? We're going to start this initiative, and if I didn't do this, people didn't do this for me, I wouldn't be here, man. It's life is insane. Like, God has given me so many chances. Like, I shouldn't be here.
That's safe to say.
There are so many people who have lived normal lives, never been drugs, never done half the crazy stuff and bad stuff that I've done, lived good lives, and don't have the life that I live, right? as you know, you're in the program. Like, as they say, this gives us an unfair advantage,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I truly believe, honestly, like the big book should be in every house.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
I
That
and
everyone
it
could
and
use it.
the steps, right? It honestly helps. It puts people in a different mindset,
Yeah.
right? That's not here. I'm just not trying to preach AA or anything like that, but
Right.
I'm saying like that type of mindset, right? Not saying you got to go to meetings, but the book can teach you something,
Right. I agree.
you know?
And that's what got me sober. It's the last thing I tried.
Right.
The only thing that worked. So
Yeah. And I mean, it's not the only thing out there, right? It's not.
no, it's not nowadays. In hell no.
There's a
There's
lot of
tons
things
of
out
different
there.
shit.
And that's not to
Smart
say, like,
recovery. There's all types of shit.
right. Like, if you're not religious, because a lot of people say that AA is not about religion, but it is about finding the God and a higher power.
Right.
And there's some people it doesn't sit well with them, right?
Yeah.
But there are lots of other programs that don't rely on that, right? But there's something out there for everybody. It really is. And there's,
Yeah.
no matter, as you can see from my story, it's never too late.
Yeah, dude. You're
Never too late.
fucking nutty. Nutty, dude.
Yeah.
You're lucky to be alive.
I'm blessed, man.
That's for sure. Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to come do this, dude.
Yeah, man.
It's a really good story, and proud of you for what it's worth. So, congrats on 10 years early. I'm gonna give you an early congrats.
Same to you, man. Those are some of the hardest times is getting to that 10 years. You know, from 5 to 10, so many people relapse.
Yeah,
You know,
see it all the time.
all the time.
People with 20 fucking years go back out.
Right.
It's scary.
But there's a trend. There's a statistic that says people from between 5 to I think 8 or 9 years, between 10, there's a much higher probability because at 5 years on average, people become complacent.
Yeah, and they stopped doing what they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people relapse between 5 and 10 years. A lot. So,
Makes sense.
yeah. But man, I really appreciate you having me on, and
Of course, dude.
hopefully it can help somebody out.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot.